right, guys, so welcome back to the Imaxit YouTube channel. I'm your host JD. If you're new, please do smash that like button, share, and definitely subscribe. And for the persons that have continuously support the channel, we really and truly appreciate it. So let's up to you guys. So, anyways, what you saw on the cards, we're gonna be talking about Omari Hutchinson. Obviously, it is the situation has been developing, so we have to give you the movements there. We have to talk about a sensation and a theme that we talked about in Jamaica that most people said not happening worldwide. So we're gonna debunk that myth. All right. Then we're gonna talk about United States, Jamaica, U-17. Are we truly on their levels? And we're going to be looking at that from step to step. Then we're going to be talking about Rodolph Austin, another reggae boy coming out, saying a few things. We're going to try and dissect that as well in the time that we do have. And then we are going to bring part one, um, amount set of documents how to get in Europe, the difference between UK and Europe. All right, yes, and maybe it will be a shocker to us some with the European one. All right, we said that we're going to be doing that, and those are the things that we added to the table. So hope you guys stay tuned. If one of the segment will be predominantly more busier, we will cut that segment and put it separate, as you guys know. So smash the like button and let me get right into it. All right, let me bless up the personnels already here. So we saw Sean Base, massive respect, Sean Base, thanks for being here. Jay Seguna, big up yourself, thanks for being here. Omar Fowling, big up yourself. Big Crook, all right, massive respect, all right. 17 first topic, all right. Ush Puppy, big up yourself. Huntley Dixon, massive respect, thanks very much for being here. All right, so let me start right here. So we had let me start with Omari Hutchinson, because Omari Hutchinson is the individual that we always keep an eye on, because he's the one that we're trying to cap for Jamaica. All right, so we're gonna go through the documents right here and give it to you. All right, so they said Chelsea transfer news: Blues considering sending their 19-year-old on loan to the Championship. You guys asked for that last time, so we're gonna just continue. The Chelsea are reportedly considering sending their young talent Omari Hutchinson on loan this month. According to the Evening Standard, the Blues are weighing up potential loan move for some of their rising stars. All right, right there, guys, right there, tells you something about the player. All right, because clearly, sometimes when you're talking about loan moves, um, that simply mean you have a value, you're valuable to them, and they know that you have a market value. Two things. All right, so clearly we are seeing that they have highly rated this guy by the statement that they continue to put out, but they have brought in some individuals that they want to help them now. So basically, they're clearly seeing that maybe he's not at the full level to help them now, which I think we all can agree. All right. So they brought in those pieces, and they want those pieces to flourish, at least for now, but they still have him on their radar. So they're trying to consider to loan him out closer to them, because some of the time Chelsea like to loan you out to far countries, Germany and in Greece, all about if they're not so much interested in it, in my belief still. But let me know what say you. All right, we have Karoom, big up yourself, and then Wun massive respect. Thanks for being here. Eagle Republic says, don't let TikTok ambush your. No, he's not. If he comes today, he's gonna get blocked from the channel, because I see what he's all about. He has his agenda, and he has his specific channels that he tried to bolster and bring down here. All right, so we know what he's all about. So he's gonna be this. If he comes on today with it, it's the last time he's coming on this channel. All right. All right. So report names Hutchinson, 19, as an individual that is being considered for a loan in January. Gabriel, Slonina, and Cesare Casede are mentioned too. It is explained that a move for the championship would be the preferred destination for the aforementioned trio. All right. Yes. So that's the situation at this point. What say you guys? Because you're saying that this is the best thing for him. I do believe that it would be the best possible move for him. Right beside the Premier League, same condition, and also he was playing in the Premier League too, and he got a buzz in the Premier League. So everything put together would just let him kickstart from where he left off, because he went back down to the Premier League too, after not getting any game in the main team, and he did perform. So it's closer to what he knows. So once you're easy in your surrounding, it's easier for you to fit in. So I think they're trying to find the best possible move for him, and this only goes to show me that they still have him as a high interest, whether it's going to be at Chelsea or it's going to be somewhere else. But it still is valuable to them, money wise or something, because if he goes in the championship and do well, that's an extra 10-15 million added to their cards if they don't want to keep him, to clear up their budget, because they spend $50 billion in terms of transfers coming in. They are just buying everyone, so maybe they will need to free up spaces if it comes down to that. All right, but at this point, clearly they do have him as those individuals, and you have to keep on remembering, guys. Remember, you have an English cap inside the Premier League. So you have to have English players. So you always want to keep the best English players aside, right there. English grown talent. So if he does even play for Jamaica, he would still consider for that. So that's why sometimes they don't try to push you off. They don't try to push you off. So it's a plethora of reasons for them to keep him at the club. But I truly believe it's based on more of his talent, why they want to keep him at the club. All right. Some would say otherwise, but for me, um, I think it's based off his talent, why they do want to keep him here. So let me know, guys, in the comment section. Hutchinson. All right, we are gonna go right there soon on the next story. 1 second, let me just share it so people can know that I'm live. And the other way to let people know that I'm live, to make sure you always hit the like button, share, subscribe, and do all of those great things. That's how people know that we're live. All right, so one. Say and big up yourself, massive respect. Just need to go somewhere. He will play every week. Agreed. Big up JD. Manchester for life. Manchester United, that is. All right. Big up Passy. What Hutchinson lacking with his right now, it's tough for him to get game, because first thing, if you're buying a player for 100 million, it's hard for you to tell him that you're not going to get him game, give him game. Furthermore, in his own contract, it's going to be games in his contract, 100%. And you have to play him because you spend so much money. So I do believe that he would be one of those individuals that had to be at the end part of the casualty there. But I tell you what, you still got Bart here. They showed your promise. Go on, kick on, and do your job right there. And we fully back you. Would you guys still consider to give him the cap? I would say 1,000%. 1,000%. He should still be considered to give the cap, because his level, and that's where we're going to go right to now, because we have a thing called levels, and we keep on not paying it any mind. All right, we keep on talking, but we don't keep put levels to this. All right. As I've said, I've talked to a lot of people always, and they always gave me information. And we have to just face reality. I love the fact that Mr. Speed and those guys keep on drilling it in the people in head what levels we are. All right. So Hutchinson is still at that level. It doesn't matter what level we are doing in the country. You will always favor him over anyone on the local side at this point to give a cap over anyone, because the levels that he's playing at, it's much higher. Obviously, I've always said on this channel, when you're assessing footballers, we know we always use three things: big, fast, and strong. That's what we use. But in football metric, those are only classed as the physical sides. And I said physical sides are like 30% of football. So you have an next 70%. 70%, it's more of the mental sides. All right. So really and truly, if you don't match 20 out of the 30 on the physical sides, and then you don't get 15 out of the mental sides, it's very tough for you to knock on from that. And only people that studying and knowing the football know exactly what I'm talking about. But you have areas of football that the football gone scientific right now, guys, and we have to just understand it. And that's why you have countries like Denmark and those countries really elevating, because they brought the highest level managers and they're doing their work. But anyways, that's for the discussion piece. Let we just continue with just the topic heading. All right. So anyways, we had heard before people saying that not much people trying to get under 15 quality players to play for the national team. All right. And right now, it looks like people are bidding war for getting 15 years old. We saw America doing it, Canada trying to do it as well from overseas. Because remember, Jamaicans saying that, no, we don't need them. And we still kept this belief that we can compete with everybody at 15 years old, which is a next lie. But we are getting closer to being better at 15 years old due to the fact that we have a lot of new setups in Jamaica, improving the players them at an astronomical level. We saw that the academy is doing all of those stuffs, and I've raved about them, shared their contents, and tried to support them. So we are going to get better in the future. But if you ask me if we are there now, no, we are not there now. All right. So, anyways, this is one of the case, or not a rare case, but this is one of the case. So they said West Ham starlet Idrissa Dauda joins elite in Italian talent at Christmas tournament. West Ham Academy starlet Idrissa Dauda has been mixing it with the best of Italian football in a festive tournament. All right. The 15-year-old centre-back, who can also represent England and Ghana at international level, was amongst the 88 players selected for a grueling 4-day competition to be selected in an under-15s team for 2023. So 88 players put together in a grueling 4-day tournament to see if they can select the best that can play for their country. So right around the world, they're going to pick 15 years old to So anytime these big countries fails, they strategize and plans in order to get it up. And these are the ways that they do those things. So when we are here saying that Jamaica need under 15s and this is too young for kids to do this and that, well, they are taking people from England and all about to bring there to get the job done. You understand me? So sometimes, as what I've always said, it's our ego is our biggest downfall every single time. And I'm loving the fact that the people in power, like Mr. Speed and those guys, they are coming around to learn that maybe it's a little bit different now. And we need to do better. So I love that. Maybe they are not fully around as yet, but I think they are still doing better than previous time. But this is showing we that really and truly the age factor, none at all. Even last night, I was actually speaking to people and I told them that from 15 worldwide to 17, those are some of the most important years in a footballer's life, because that's how they leveled up you, mature you to a level. And people saying, oh, 15 years old are kids, you don't know what you're talking about. And clearly, they never knew what they're talking about, because they're always in a bubble and only go places that they can circulate their bubble feelings. So they don't research anything, they don't know anything. You understand me? And this is one of the things trying to show you that the kids, they are mobile. They are mobile. They keep on evolving at early age. So when you look at a 17 years old in Europe, they ain't any kid. They are already seasoned professionals going about their ways. All right? Yes, man. And I would love for people in our region to just do some more reading. I'm begging you, please, just do some more reading. Because it's hard for you to tell somebody that's in a situation about the situation. And I know you're dead ass wrong. So, all right, that is a next way now. That's the next thing now, what we realize. So now we debunk this thing of 15 years old coming to Jamaica and playing for Jamaica. That's complete joke. And that's just the next way out for people to upscot the situation. But clearly, worldwide, people searching for talent, because nothing is much more patriotic than to do the right thing for your country. Nothing is more patriotic than that. All right. So if you add the ego towards saying that you're patriotic, no, you ain't doing a good job. All right. So I love the fact that we got these information and they're out there showing us. So sensation, Idrissa Dauda, type in the name, check it for yourself, and not just him, the entire tournament. So you can follow it up, click on the TV, see for yourself, and they will televise and tell you where the players coming from. All right, where they're coming from, like which country they're coming from, and you get to realize that people they are trying these things, and you can go and soccer sofa in those places and see where kids coming from when they represent Netherlands, when they represent England, or when they represent certain things. So you get to know the truth, and you don't get to go down a path of not accurate information. All right, so 15 years old going to play other places, and that's a surety because it's in all the biggest news. So I never had to rely on the Jamaican news for that. So that is a fact, and that killed the narrative right there. All right, let me move on to the next point, guys. All right, let me big up some people in the house. Massive respect, thanks everyone for being here. Marcelo, massive respect, big up, big up. All right. Then we have our brother Pagan in the building. Or man, fan of mine at. Big up yourself, massive respect. And then we have Jay Taylor, big up yourself, Jay Taylor. Hope all is well with you. Madrik is a top quality player. On the other side, maybe Hutchinson can eventually take that spot on the right. Short term needs games. Yes, all right. Respect 1-1 for that one. Big, fast, and strong. We're the technique, but that's why we explain to them, Karoom, that when we say certain things, it's not we bringing down a country. We are just explaining to you things that we are learning that we never knew ourselves. So we are trying to bring to you that 70% of football ain't nothing what you thought about at first, nothing at all. You get me? So that's the difference that you're gonna always be privy to when you make the big jump. You get me? So imagine if you said you're all that good and you're inside Jamaica and you're saying, "Oh, I have everything," and a man tell you that you don't have the next 70. You might have something in the next 70%, but you don't have 50% of the next 70% side than just the physical. You're going to say, "Wow." And that's why I respect Anderson the other day, because Anderson said he was willing to learn. And I love that, you know. So he's going out there to figure out things. So we definitely like that. Who signed Omari? We are going to keep it close. They're trying to work on it, but at least they said that they're considering it right now. Loan would be best for him. Not sure Algrimson calls him over others who might be playing week in, week out at the moment. But he was playing week in, week out. He only had a spell of a month. And he made 2 appearances in that same month. So he came out of the Prem too. So he was always playing really and truly, big boss. We need to stop this big, fast, and strong mindset. We are not big. We are close to Spain and height, chart, and suit playing more technical game. Yes, but I think Mr. Spade and those guys keep saying it. So I love that. They're moving away from it. Martin Baker, big up yourself. Thanks for being here. Massive respect. All right, let me see. That's why our football have reached nowhere over the last, but we are improving, man. 15-year-old kids joke thing. That worldwide 15 start playing big man football. Yes, but sometimes the way how people act when they don't know, I'm from my own land is surprising. You get me? Yes, man, it's surprising, man. But we're improving, and we're trying to do better. It's better than before. That's all I can say. Bless up, Chevan. Massive respect. Jamaican Guna. Big up yourself. Thanks for being here. All right. Some coach need to go to Europe to learn about big man football. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. And that's it now. So let me move on to the next one so we can get everything out of the way so we can take the calls and people give their take. All right. Right here. So now, right here, guys. Right here. This is the third one on the news, in the news, because it's like 5-6 page. All right. So, anyways, this is one of the next reggae boy giving back his belief system, why Jamaicans ain't doing anything, and he's one of the most successful Jamaicans, to be honest. Portmore United midfielder Rodolph Austin says while Jamaica's players are immensely talented, several of them lack one key ingredients to enjoy success outside Jamaica, and he says discipline. Oh, ironic. It was discipline on a show yesterday. I'm hearing about our next set of people. But I was always considering this like, oh wow. So you're gonna tell me that other people ain't disciplined, and oh, do we deal with that? But wow, that is surprising. So would you agree? Because that's what he says. Listen to him good. He says while Jamaican players are immensely talented, several of them lack one key ingredient to enjoy success outside Jamaica. So you agree with that or not? Yes or no? We have 86 in the house. Build up the building, guys. Share it to your friends. Them let we have a good time. We have two more topics and then we are going to start dissecting them. But for me, I have my take, my take is completely different than what you would have first thought. All right, because you hear what he said, um says while players are immensely talented, all right, that is my biggest problem, because I think that's a wrongful word used. I don't think Jamaican players are talented, because when you said Jamaican players are talented, you're talking about the majority. You will find mm, the minor, a few, not the minority, a few come out talented. And the reason why I said talented, we need to stop mix up that word. Talent is the whole sum of a package of a thing. If you have the physical attributes and you don't have the technical side or the full mental capacity of the game, mental sides of football, even in the studies books, are amongst the talent as well. Every one of these guys that we said they are immensely talented, they have the mental sides as well. They have the technical sides as well. You understand me? So every one of these ballers that you're going to come and say they're talented, they are short of a lot of other things. So you cannot use talent. Just Betty just come and said the physical attributes. They are gifted with the physical attributes to start with, and maybe have the characteristic to grow towards getting talented. But the old out to say talent, I think sometimes we overuse that word too much. All right. So we use that word too much. I don't think we are talented. Talented is reserved for the extra bunch. Because, for instance, Maggie, when you think about Maggie, the first thing you think about Maggie, good first touch, good, good short pass, weak, weak on the ball. Don't think he shields the ball good enough. Reading the play at high intensity, slow. You understand me? And then defensive work rate, not good enough. Energy on the field, not good enough. But Maggie, I just talked about two things that people would have killed for in the game. So it's clearly to show you that that's the first thing we always identify with Maggie. Incredible skill set of first touch, quality. You understand me? You get me? But and his passing, good, very good. We all as Jamaicans can say that. But the amount of problems Maggie possesses himself, he stated out of his own mouth, so you don't have to take minds for it. So you see that what we said, the word talented is kind of overused in that statement. So I wouldn't agree with him to say that Jamaican players are immensely talented, because I've not seen that amount of immensely talented Jamaicans, if not the anomalies, them like, oh, Leon Bailey would have had all of the key packages. Some people would criticize him that he doesn't have certain package like TikTok, but I think he possesses all. So, for instance, out of the 100% physical attributes, he would have get 21 out of 30. And then on the mental side, he would have had maybe like a 40 out of the 70. So that would have ended him up out of 71. All right. No, that would have ended him at 61 out of the 100. So he has a way to go. But you don't have any more Jamaicans on that barrier of the 61 out of 100. You understand me? On the chart, or people would have evaluate the players. All right, so that's why I wouldn't agree on the immensely talented part. Maybe others would have actually but please, if you don't know what I'm saying, and don't jump like TikTok them, but make sure to go and understand what I'm saying. Consult other people that's in football, and you're gonna see how right I am. So I think the word talented is overused when it comes on to Jamaica, and Jamaica football. I think the word talented is overused, and the immensely talented, no, I don't agree with that. But I would consider that you have on the physical side players in a bunch can do a lot if they put their mind to it. If they have the discipline, they can evolve to a better level. I think that is well put together. Well put together. Because I would say that majority of them would get 20 out of the 30 physical sides. So that is something going your way, but you have to have some other things. So like if you're blessed like Maggie with the technical side, it adds up faster. You just need to get the mental side going away and keep on learning, and you have a future in football. So yes, you would say on the physical side, Jamaica could come out easier and the upper echelon than anybody else, are at least up there with a bunch of people that could come out on the upper echelon. So that's what I would agree with. But not the other part of the immensely, I wouldn't put it over there. And then he says discipline is one of the discipline would be the main problem. We're going to go into the article. Let me hear what people has to say first. All right, yes man, we have a good conversation, guys, meaningful conversation. I'm not going to stuck on one comment, none at all. We're going to move through. TikTok says, notice he didn't say football education. Maybe he doesn't know about that because maybe he doesn't study to be a coach, or he doesn't go into those departments. So sometimes people cannot know something, TikTok. So I can know something that he doesn't know, because maybe I just go to the school for that. But he never went there because he was busy doing something else. But if you consult someone else, they would give you, that goes to the school, they might give you similar to what I've said. All right, TikTok. So your starting point is baseless, and I'm gonna be very much tough today on you, TikTok. Very tough. All right. Overseas, 18 years old, playing professional football, not schoolboy. All right. At the youth level, there are many talented Jamaican youth. All right. So none of the people in the main places use that word of talent. And that's why I respect Mr. Speed, because Mr. Speed stopped within the propaganda. He starts to give you the actual facts that he learned in school. All right, using the right phrases. So TikTok, your boss now use the same slang as you. So I think it should have been done today with that. All right, we as Jamaicans are taught that talent is the ultimate, while the world sees mentality and hard work. But the mental side, Guna, I think what we use as the action, the move, I think when we are describing talent, we only describe the physical side. At least I'm not going to talk about anything else because I don't know about anything else. I can only talk about football. When we talk about football in Jamaica, we talk about the move, the physical makeup of the personnel, which that's not talent. It's the entire sum is talent. I'm telling you guys, it's the entire sum is talent, and that's where the confusion will start. I don't think it's just discipline. I think our players lack quality. We have natural talent, but the talent is not developed. So we end up with players that are just not good enough. All right, that's coming from Wun. All right, fair enough, Wun. Talent is an illusion in some way, as it is very hard to quantify. That's where I would land it right there. But I think you would have led to the whole sum rather than just a part. Jason, right? Maggie is very talented. His physical stature slows his development. Upen saw his talent and signed him. Maggie is very talented. Oh, you said it already. You put it 2 times. We have the natural ability to do things, but natural talent not enough. Other countries have talent and then nurture the talent with education, high level coaching, and high level competition from young. All right. So, but make sure you understood what I was saying here, because I was not saying anything bad. I think what I'm saying, if it comes from a different mouth, everyone would have raved, because I've kept saying it for a long time. All right. I think we have the basic raw talent in Jamaica. We lack proper coaching, nutrition, and tactical skills. Raheem Sterling and John Barnes, etc., agrees. All right. I just wish JD don't pay that. No man, we just passing through, because we don't say anything wrong, so you can't say we say anything wrong. So JD, do you think we have more talent than ED? Not I don't know. Based on what I saw, um I at this point I would say that the I think maybe on the guy side, because I only can check the guy side. Clearly, the Asians they might beat you out in the guy side with locals. Remember, we have the overseas mix. You know, when we played them at the girls team, we had the overseas mixed. All right. They don't have the dominant influx of overseas players, so it's hard for me to judge them. But give me a little time before I can make a definitive answer out of we are 80, because I don't want to jump to it and then you have people on the Jamaica side, if I pick 80, start feeling away and start complaining. I can't bother with it. So all I'm going to do, I will make sure I research and I will come back with all the additional facts to get it done. All right. So don't worry yourself, big boss. I will get it done. As Simo said, we are as talented as anybody else up to a certain age. All right. Cristiano Ronaldo CR7, talent without hard work means nothing. All right. So all right. I love the chat. I love the chat. Everyone giving their take. All right. Bless up, Football Global. Massive respect. Guys, we have 100 and so 112 people here. Get it to 100 likes, man. It makes it makes no qualms to get it to 100, because you're getting quality, regardless if you don't agree. But when you go and research and you see that it's true, I think you need to just hit the damn like button from now and just support the thing. All right. Yeah, man. All right. Let me continue now. Football is in our genes, JD. We are naturally talented. That is why we have so many players of Jamaican heritage doing very well in. So Nitro, I want you to you notice I've never said we are not physically good. We never said we can't kick a ball, but I'm just telling you the word talent might be overused, because when you look at the meaning of talent and when if you look at the way they use talent in the book of school, the talent don't come off the way we use it, because we are talking about, oh, we fast, strong, and we can kick a ball. But football itself is not just what you just described, just those three elements. It's like 15 different elements you have to put together and always have a like a repetition with those 14 elements to make it go places. All right. So it's hard for me to say what you're saying is it's fully accurate. You get me? Yes, we have to find a different name for it. Eugenia Blake, check in, massive respect. Thanks very much. Probably his experience showed him that Jamaicans who go overseas, um, I am working on the chat, Cataract. I'll get back to you. Go overseas have more ball sense than the average. The people overseas, or you're saying the people inside Jamaica playing football. Let me know. I have no problem with that. I have no problem. If he thinks that he's once he once you get the additional support, you're better. I have no problem, because I think that we all thought that. Benfica is expected to make a record USL bid for 17-year-old Joshua, with the talent everywhere. All right, we should be discussing every day how to transition youth to maximize their talent, instead of talking who is better than them every day. I don't know what you're talking about. I think you don't listen well. TikTok. I think you don't listen well, and I've proved it yesterday. You don't listen well, because people will tell you BS, and because you like them, you stand up and listen to it, and it's complete utter garbage. They're saying, we are as talented as anyone up to age 4. We lack understanding of vocabulary. Look up to, the dictionary of talent. But that's all I've said from the start. That's all I've said. And everyone tried to attack me rather than just listen to what I've said from day one. Because if the man that's dealing with Jamaica's football is saying the same thing, so what makes it different coming from me? Speedily, big up yourself. We beat 80 at all levels from time to time. They are not more talented. We beat their U-20, and according to you, all they were supposed to win. Yes, we all said they're supposed to win. All right. Yes, we all say that. We can't more talented than people playing football and learning about it from 6 years old. All right. So let me Cataract. I will send you the link, and all you need to do is just 1 second, guys. I'm trying to get the link for Cataract. If he wants to come on, I will just send it from now, so he can come on and give his take and make we keep it respectful. Cause I just want these things to come out. We just discuss things, and we don't have to be fighting with nobody. Anybody we have to fight with, we are going to block them from the channel, because we are trying to deal with education and not delusionary behavior. We are not going to. We're going to set a standard on this channel. If we get one view via setting a standard, I'm okay with it. Here they have won the U-15 tournament. So, oh, we better than them. Okay, that is something else. But give a little time before we attack that. Here they outplayed, U-20 outplayed us, even though we won the game. Right. JD, going forward, what the first thing coach should work on, I think Mr. Speed have it right. Mr. Speed have the right attitude and belief system. What they have to go forward with is just going to the education side every single day. Every single day. Stop with bring them out there. So, and I think I'm not gonna say anything. Give me a little time, Thomas, until I get to see them, because I'm planning to see them in real life. The Jamaican kids, them. So I want to see how this guy is dealing with them, because we have one of the person that I've been raving about yesterday, which is one of the academies. I will get to see how they do things, and then I can give you what I know on the road, something different from what he's doing, and then we can give you what maybe we need to do in general going forward. You get me? So we're gonna see him we're gonna see him. All right. Yeah, Jay, I check in. Big up yourself, man. We have a plethora of topics. We don't even touch the U-17 versus Jamaica as yet, what they're doing and who is on their listing and everything. So we covered, and then we have the rules to go overseas. I know a lot of you guys waiting for that. The rules to go overseas for certain locations. And I'm telling you, you're going to be shocked when you hear for certain locations like Belgium and Netherlands. You're going to be shocked. But that's the reason why we do these programs, because we're here to give the information, and we see how you guys react when we give you. JD, Jamaicans have a natural aptitude for sport, included football. All right, all right. But at the same time, TikTok, you're saying that we lack the mental sides and the technical sides. So if you lack the technical sides and the mental side, it clearly tells you that we cannot be talented. You're agreeing with me, but you just don't want to agree with me, because all I'm saying is out of 100, 30% of it is physical, and that is in the book. If you go and study the actual license, it's in it. You go and read it yourself, right? Out of the 30, majority of the Jamaicans then that gone professional would have considered to get at least from 14 up to 20 odd, because we have those genes that is better equipped to be more physically imposing. All right, so that is good. But when we go on to the next sides, then we don't get much high ratings in those sides, so we get a significant drop off than the rest of the world. So it's hard for we to say we're talented, because talented is the word itself, talented. It has a lot to do with the know-how of the thing, the natural know of the thing. You get me? So if you have the physical thing, you can kick a ball over there, so but you can't direct the ball exactly where the personnel want it, and do it consistent. You cannot do all of that. All right. Yes, Cataract, why you can't turn on the camera, man? Me kind of don't like the lack of turning on cameras, man. My God, man. Man, them can just be away.
Turn on the camera. But you bad me up, and you never see your man up Jamaica good yet.
No,
But and the next name, and the next name.
no. Let me clear up that. No, if me say you for turning the camera, in a business, who me not tell. All right.
I,
Yes,
I,
let me just
I'm
clear
I'm
that. Yep.
applying for the same visa
No,
that
no.
Jamaican go now. So the next day, come on, man, turn it on. Today looks so wonderful. But
TikTok.
I really wanted to.
1 second, 1 second, Cataract, 1 second, please. TikTok, Jamaica wasn't at the U-15 tournament. They were invited. They were in the literal a literal group. They pulled out because they
JD,
said they weren't good enough. And the previous one, go and check it, TikTok. All right, and they won two in a row. So you cannot say that Jamaica because Jamaica weren't in it. That's why Jamaica never won it. That is the biggest BS me ever hear in my life. You understand me? The man them won it back to back. We need a separate channel for footballing Jamal. Okay, I don't understand that part. That is madness.
Jamal
I revive.
Jamal is where you teach people to read and write.
Okay, okay, okay.
You
Well,
know,
Cataract, we don't
adult
need to.
literacy, adult
Yeah,
literacy. Because
but
there are
let me.
some people who are footballing
I
illiterate.
Cataract. You just come on the show. Reach 40 minutes. Just make me just control the show. I am gonna bring it in when the time comes. Just hold on, I'm on the people. I'm
Okay,
in the
man.
show. The show big.
Control the show. But
Yes.
don't control
JD,
it like how some man have control, first control, you know.
no, no, I don't know like that. JD, outside the pace and strength, there is limited talent, especially technical ability and footballing intelligence. Yes, that's exactly what Mr. Speed said. That's exactly what all of the man in Jamaica come up to the point now for say. And we just said talent, the word talent, is the whole sum. You get me? And if you don't produce the whole sum, that means that you have a specific attribute. You have a specific attribute rather than you're talented towards football. That's all we're saying. So I'm just saying the word that he used there, immensely talented, might be wrong. That's all I'm saying. That's all. We never try to diminish nothing. All right, JD, football skills can be learned. Jamaicans don't have the best coaches. I had nothing to do with mentals or other foolishness. Okay, so Mr. Speed said that. Other people say that over and over, but you never tackle them. I want to see you tackle them and tell them that them know them I talk about. All right. Yes. So, Cataract, we have talked about a few topics already. Clearly, this is one of the topics that really kick off. We have two more. We might not go into all two. Because I do have limited time, as you know. Yes. So, which one of these topics you wanted to talk about? Because you're calling, you're calling.
Yeah, man, I'd call in. I didn't really plan to spend long, but
Yes.
look here.
You know,
First of all,
you
let
know,
me say,
spend long if you don't want to spend long. You don't have to spend
let
long
me
if
say,
you don't want to spend long.
boy, sometimes you know, we just call it a war. Um, big up the whole of the man, them. Big up the whole of the ultras, them. One word. Big up the double name man, them. One word. O N. Every double name man. Big up the ultras, them. Yeah, man. I don't know what's a fire burn wagon is red hotter dread of fire. Look, JD, I wanted to come in and support your thing about this thing about talent, and
Hmm.
I wanted to add something. Jamaica went to the under 14 tournament last year, or was it 2021? 2021. Yeah, 2020 last year we went to the under 14 tournament that I think was in the Dominican Republic. It was held,
Hmm.
and I would love for you to be able to pull up those results. But I think we came home knocked out in the first round with our tail between our legs.
The under 20, the
No,
under 20.
on the 14,
Oh, the under 14. Oh, the under 14.
on
Okay,
the
okay, okay.
14, yes. And all local based squad. At the time when I queried it, I heard. So I'd love if you, I know you research quicker than I do. Just to pull up those scores of the last under 14 that we attended, boys and girls. We sent two teams.
No, we can't avoid the girls. We can't avoid the girls situation right now.
No.
Because the girls, the last tournament the girls went in, it was not good at all.
No man, under 14 I'm talking about, you know. But you might
Okay.
be surprised at
But
what the
under
boys
15,
did.
under
No
15
man,
was.
not under 15, under 14.
I am
Because
looking up the under 14.
we are trying to track back at what age are we better than everybody else. Because people say that Brazil is better than most countries in football, and then they put up their 4 World Cups that they have won.
Hmm.
Argentina says they're better than everybody, and they hold up the 2022 World Cup. So I am just asking, like TikTok and those other people, just put up the under 15 and under 14 cups that we have won. Please, I really would like to see, because I don't know everything, So I clearly, when I'm sleeping, Jamaica is winning things at that level, but it's not true. The excuse given at the time was COVID, because apparently only Jamaica had COVID, and the rest of the Caribbean, not Concacaf, not Concacaf, This was a CFU tournament. Um, not we weren't dominant. Additionally, just so that history protects you, JD,
Mm-hmm.
Jamaica hasn't always dominated the Caribbean region. We haven't won 5 or 6 successive Caribbean Cups. When it was the Shell Cup, you remember?
Yes, I remember the
Right.
Shell Cup, but we were
When
definitely one of
when
the best
when when
in the Shell
Tapa
Cup still.
when
Better
Tapa
team
won
in
it,
the Shell
no,
Cup.
no, not better team, sir. Not
We are
better
we are
team.
one of the better two teams in the
No, no,
Shell Cup.
no,
That's what I'm
no,
saying.
sir. No, no, sir. We were told that our local based players are world beaters, not
Hmm.
one of the better. There's a different, and I'm using the words now. I'm using the word.
Okay, but my statement is accurate. Accurate. We are one of the better teams, so it simply means sometimes we can win, sometimes we can lose. That's what I've used, right?
No, but if you're a world beater, you're gonna lose.
Okay, but where that world beater statement came
Uh,
from?
you don't recall Mr. Speed?
Oh, but
That's it.
Mr. Speed said at under 15s level. That's what he was actually.
That's
I thought he
that's
was
what
actually talking about.
and up to under 17. That's why they defended the quota system at under
No,
17.
for his, he said that under 17s, it kind of fade out. We get poorer because obviously that's where we have some miscommunication with the kids and everything. So I thought he lamented on under 15s. You get me? So that's why I stuck on under 15s and said, all right, then we're gonna wait to see what
So
happened
so
at under
so
15.
so,
But we
so
never
J
saw anyone ever go to the under 15 tournament. So
so,
that's where I could, yeah.
so JD, I knew if I
Hmm.
even brought it up, my friends would help me. Thank you, J. Ross. That in 2013 we went and we didn't win a single game. So how are we one of the better teams? Just and there's others, right? And I'm not pouring scorn on it. What I want to say is that was the first one. That we are mythical. Sir P, and I'm giving credit to it. It's unicorns that we're selling. Unicorn meat. When Trinidad had the Russell Latapis and Dwight Yorks, etc., we were not winning the Caribbean Cup. No, no, sorry, Bob. We, if you take part in something, there'll come a time when you'll win. So basically, we are in the upper tier sometimes, sometimes not.
Okay, okay.
So
So
I put it that
so
way.
the statement that I've said, the Cataracta
No,
first,
man,
we
I'm
were
not.
one of the better team would be suited, right?
No, but
Like
if
you
you
have a
know when
side
if you
for
know when a
quarterback.
single if you know in a single game, and I will, when I pause, I'm going to look it up to give you the exact thing, because I know it's more than one Shell Cup that we got knocked out in the group stage. That's not one of the better teams, but we are the highest ranked nation in the Caribbean, right? I also wanted to say that I think people are confusing some words in the English lexicon. They're using some words interchangeably. Talented, gifted, developed, and I think there was a fourth one. I can't remember it as we speak as we speak at the moment. But there's a difference between everyone has a talent.
Hmm.
Everyone has a talent to play football. But the level that you are is when you're gifted, meaning this is a special gift. You are the special one. But talent has to be honed and developed. Skilled is the other word I wanted to use. Skilled. Because you can have people without skill who are
Hmm.
talented. And you have people like the Harlem Globetrotters in basketball. They're skilled. You know what I mean? They dazzle, razzle dazzle. But you can't put them to go play against a well-trained New York Knicks, for
Yeah,
example.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's well. That line was actually better. Soul Cry says Jamaican players who can look good at any level. No, Jamaica has players who can look good at any level. What we need is a playing style. We can't keep the ball. I don't actually agree with you that we have players that can look good at any level. I Can you please name those players, Soul Cry? Because I highly doubt it that we have players that can look good at unless you're adding the English guys a minute. But if the conversation what he talked about was not the English guys. I mean, he was talking about the locals only, and I'm very sorry. I'm not gonna believe that one. We don't have players that can look good at every level. I think that that's a disrespect to football. You understand me? For the same statement you're saying that we're not good at certain things, and then saying any player can look good at any level. I don't believe that. It's not any player you can put at any level, and they are gonna be outshining people. One says even if you're beating teams at 13, 14, and 15, it doesn't mean you are better. You just may have physical attributes that allow you to beat them at that age. Long term technical skills win. But the problem is, I've got to watch them with my eyes. And I realized that they're not bigger than the 80 players are not bigger than them.
So,
I think
okay, so, so
they are
JD,
a little bit more brighter too as well, because in the football metrics they were using skill set to pass Puerto Rico and those teams. They are the same size. So I think the technical skills and what they have learned help them over the line. But I get what you're saying, 1000%. Yes, yes,
so
Katra.
JD, just and I'm gonna ask you for about 3 minutes. Just allow me to go through so that we say it. The Shell Cup is documented from 1978, right? Held in Trinidad and Tobago. First holders were Suriname.
Mm-hmm.
Runners up Trinidad and Tobago. 1979, held in Suriname, won by Haiti. Runners up St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Mm-hmm.
Then it moved to every 2 years. In 1981, it was held in Puerto Rico, won by Trinidad and Tobago. Runners up St. Vincent and the Grenadines. 1983, it was held in French Guiana. Winners were Martinique. Runners up were
Mm-hmm.
Trinidad and Tobago.
Mm-hmm.
In 1985, it was held in Barbados. The winners were Martinique. They retained the trophy for the first time. Back to
Mm-hmm.
back winners. Runners up were the host team, Barbados. In 1989, in 1988, Trinidad and Tobago, it was held in Martinique. Trinidad and Tobago won. Antigua and Barbuda runner up. In 1989, it was held in Barbados. Martinique, held in Barbados. Trinidad and Tobago won. Grenada were runner up. So Trinidad and Tobago did the back to back double. They followed on
Mm-hmm.
from Martinique. So in the 80s, Trinidad and Martinique were the man them. In 1991, it was hosted in Jamaica for the first time, and Jamaica won the tournament, and Trinidad and Tobago were runners up. So we won when we were the host nation for the first time. That's how I don't say that's how come we won, but that's when we
Mm-hmm.
won.
Mm-hmm.
And
All
if you
right.
noticed, host nations tend to figure in the finals as we read through.
Mm-hmm.
1992, it was held in Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago won. Jamaica was the
Okay.
runner-up.
Mm-hmm.
1993, it's held in Jamaica. Martinique won, and Jamaica was the runner-up. In 1994, Trinidad and Tobago host. Trinidad and Tobago won. Martinique was the runners-up. 95, it was held in the Cayman Islands. Trinidad won. St. Vincent and the Grenadines were the
Yeah, but
runners-up.
we're gonna spend
But
20, 15
no,
minutes
no, no,
max at
no, 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 no. We're not, it's
come on
important,
fast because
JD.
I've got a story. No,
It's in,
Cataract. The
hold
show
on,
was
no.
designed a specific way.
All
So
right.
I'm
So
saying there
it's
are players.
designed not to get the facts. Because
No,
JD,
it's
one thing I
designed not
respect about your show,
15 minutes. Catch a it's not
Oh,
designed 15 minutes for your run over time. So me
I
just say
haven't
get
spoken for 15 minutes. As a matter
yes,
of fact,
but
it's two and a
we say
half minutes.
15 more minutes on this topic,
Oh,
catch a
oh, sorry, 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 sorry,
That's how I
sorry.
said 15 more
Oh,
minutes. Me
sorry,
no want
sorry,
to was.
sorry. My apology, my apology, my apology. But you break me, man. And I'm just giving the history and the facts here on Imaxit. So, 1995, held in Trinidad. Trinidad were the winners. Cuba were the runners-up. In 1997, it was held in Antigua and Barbuda. Trinidad and Tobago were the winners. St. Kitts and Nevis were the runners-up. In 1998, when we qualified for the World Cup, when we went to the World Cup, sorry, Jamaica were the winners, and Trinidad and Tobago were the runners-up, and it was held jointly in both Trinidad and Jamaica. So the only time up to 98 that we won were 2 years when it was hosted in Jamaica. And in the 90s, Trinidad went on an entire decade of winning. They won 1, 2, 3, 4 back to back, right? And we broke it in 98. In 99, it went back to the same thing. Trinidad in the finals, Haiti. It was held in Trinidad. In 2001, held in Trinidad, Trinidad and Haiti in the finals. The previous year was Trinidad and Cuba. 2005, held in Barbados. Jamaica won, and Cuba were the runners-up. In 2007, Trinidad, it was hosted. Haiti won. Trinidad and Tobago were the runners-up. Jamaica then won in 2008 and 2010. In 2008, it was held in Jamaica, and Grenada was the runners-up. So for 3 of the 4 times that we won in 3 decades, in 30 years, we only won 3 times.
Only
Sorry,
three
we won
times.
4 times. 4
Four
times,
times.
sorry,
Four
so
times.
far.
3 times on
And
Jamaican
3
side.
times it was hosted on Jamaican soil. And in 2010, it was held in Martinique. Jamaica held. Won. We held on back to back for the first time. Guadeloupe. 2012, Antigua and Barbuda the host. Cuba won. Trinidad and Tobago. 2014, Jamaica and won. And then Trinidad and Tobago were the runners-up. So we can't, in terms of actual results, in the Shell Cup from 1978 to 2014, you would have to say that Trinidad are the supremos, followed by Martinique.
Okay, so we are not the best team in the Shell
So
Cup then.
we
So
would
we're not
then
the
come
dominant
in,
force of
we
the
would then
Caribbean.
come in third. We would come in third.
So we are not the dominant force as what
No, we're
we
not.
first told. Okay, so we got I've gotten in it now because we had that next topic that we wanted you to talk about, but you spend a good amount of time on that. So let me
No,
just
man, we
ask you
just
the
put it
follow up.
down there. And
No,
right.
no, I'm asking you follow up. So
Mhm.
with all of that said, um, so why we have to tell people that we are the dominant force of the Caribbean then, when that is not a factual statement then? Because we're not dominating that league. Or why we say that then? What you got from it? Because we want to learn so we can move past it.
Hold on.
That's what
Sorry,
I'm asking.
sorry. Um, may I just address TikTok? TikTok.
So what the other comment them cataract? Now that's me ask
No,
the
man,
question.
it just came up on my screen. Did Jamaica the Shell Cup was not the Shell Cup stopped being the Shell Cup in 2014. It became a CFU competition, right? And it's from you conveniently started from 2014 to now, right? And the difference between 2014 to now, JD, is the amount of players that we
Check the
have
love out with
recruited
people.
in,
That's good.
right? All along, going on from 1978 all up to 98, when we only had 3, when we were doing it with all our local players. We were not the dominant force. But the
All
question
right
you
then.
ask is why we are telling people that we are.
Yes, just answer me there, and we can just move on. So at least
I
people
don't
were.
know why we tell people that we are, because there are some other matrices that we tend to do better. We tend to be the team from the Caribbean that reaches the hexagonal of the World Cup qualifications.
Mm-hmm.
We play more games than other teams, and therefore we are generally the higher ranked team, except when
Mm-hmm.
Trinidad went to the World Cup, right? And so there
Yeah.
are other matrices to measure. But this thing about dominant and you just run over the thing, like how Brazil dominates Comebol. Brazil and Argentina dominate Carnival. If you look there, you just say Brazil, Brazil, Argentina, Argentina, Brazil. You might see Uruguay pop in one time. Or that's domination. Domination is not when you pick out a 5 year period and say, oh, yeah, we win it then. And so we're bad.
Uh, all right. Okay. Okay.
Right.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Fair enough. Joseph, big up yourself. Thanks for being here, guys. Once you pass through, please do smash the like button and get us up on the likes. So that it kind of help you. So if you can get it to 150 fast, so we can go over 200, that would be grateful. All right, Joseph, bless yourself. Thanks for being here. South Cry says generally, JD, we have produced footballers who have played at the highest level. Not all our players, but we have produced some. Bibi Gardner, Liam Bailey, for example. That's two soul cry in 50,000 years, and I can add the next four to it, the next four at the highest level. So really and truly, soul cry that are like 35 years, soul cry, and a 6 and 7, soul cry. So I don't think we are what we are saying we are doing. It's maybe that's why Cataract have that statement to me, because it does like we exaggerate on every point 10 times fold. If we produce five players in 30 years at the highest level, that no that's you know much players played in 30 years at the highest level. Oh my God, that's what and we look at the percentage. Maybe we would have been below 0.01 of personnels coming out of Jamaica in the last 30 years that played at the highest level, less than 0.01. So that is not a real statement, Soul
I
Cry.
don't
That is
want them
not
to beat. I
yeah.
don't want them to beat you, JD. I don't want them to beat you. I want the facts
No,
to
no,
beat you.
no. I've
Hold on.
stopped on local players. The
No,
discussion is
local,
it.
local, man.
You
Local,
can't
local. I
put
don't
English
want them
guys.
to beat you. Hold on.
You can't
Allow.
put English guys in it.
No, man. No.
Cataract, tell me 25 guys that
Hold
played
on, man.
at the
Stop it,
Premier League.
JD.
It's
JD,
not
please, no, man.
possible, brother.
It's not a
It's
war.
not
I'm
true.
saying to you, I don't want them to beat you.
But
So
you
I'm going
can't
to
beat me
just
when me know some facts. Me
Jesus
never give you a
Christ.
number.
I said
Cataract, but
I
you
am beating you.
no, but you try continue a conversation where it cannot happen. You no need to even pick up for me. It cannot happen because it's not possible. The highest level is actually the Premier League. You know,
Yes.
have 50 Jamaicans playing in the last 30 years
No.
in the Premier League. That is lie. So that is
Right.
that is not dominant.
No, but
So
if again
Cataract, you
you
no
said
need
your program, no, hold on. Again, you
Cataract.
always say
Me
to
no
me,
need
your
to find the
program has the
exact number.
facts.
No, but me no need to find the next the exact number, Cataract, because me never give a statement to give the exact number, brother.
Right.
You no need to be like that, brother. You want challenge
Like
every
what?
point, man. Me can't do
Who's
that. So
challenging?
like,
Jesus
just relax,
Christ.
Cataract, man.
JD, hold on. If
Trinidad football days are the thing of the past. 10-0 formation, 10 centre back on the pitch. All right, fair enough. All right, let me move on from here because I have an expert who I want to deal with.
you know the time
I'm
that you
cannot
take
able to deal with it.
the time you take to counteract.
Cataract, stop tell me
Because I
what we
just
need.
tell you, it's one
No,
more player, and that's
but
Claude Davis.
in a matter if a 6 or 7 or 10.
No, it's not. No, but I'm
Me
just
never
saying
give
that
an actual name.
we just
But
allow the facts so
me
nobody can
never
accuse us.
no, me never say a factual statement. Me
Okay.
never say a
All right.
factual
Go ahead.
number.
Go
Me
ahead.
never
Go
do
ahead.
that. So me no need to argue with people. Me I tell you it's not 50. Me sure it's not 50. So what the difference from 6 to 7? I'm not 50.
It's two
Big
to
up
three.
Andrew 55. Big up Andrew 55. Thanks very much for being here. Ryan, Stewartson, thanks for being here, man. Massive respect. Think it's because of track and field, not football. All right, that is a good point. That is a very good point. Only our only claim to fame is that we got to a World Cup. Fair enough. The Caribbean Championship ended in 2017. Jamaica has used local players to dominate the CFU Championship.
And you know, so that's why I blame you. Because you cut me and make me never get for no, you give me a break.
All right,
And
but
no
we're gonna
man
move
can
on.
just come with
We're
this
gonna move on.
madness.
But we're
But
gonna
let's
move
move
on
on.
from that. We have other things to
Let's
do,
move
so
on.
we don't
Yeah,
have to
man.
spend the whole time.
Move on.
Yes, you
But
you
what was
want.
your view? What was your view about the issue and people understanding the difference between talented, skilled, and developed
I just don't believe they use the word. The problem is in
correctly?
Jamaica, a lot of words don't have the same meaning. We try to convert English words to the patois meaning, and that is the problem. We try to do that a lot of times. You get me? And that's the same thing we did with talented. But if you go for the word and literally look at the word, it's not saying nothing. What in the terms that we use it, and that's how we need to do. I'm not gonna punch it out with him, Owen. He just doesn't show me enough respect. When I say move on from something, and him cannot move on from it because him like to war. So him just want
No,
war every time.
what is war? Is
Yeah, but yeah,
presenting a facts
I,
war?
but me no want present the facts there. Let
Okay,
make the man
okay.
find them on something. If every day me get up and tell him, so we go up on YouTube, Google, a search or something, and do something. Make them go do it, and then them come back and tell me them me wrong. So, oh, you think I'm gonna learn? If me keep and I give them everything, me a pamper feed everybody every day, it not gonna work. Anyways, let me talk about the eligibility. Cataract, the eligibility, important stuff. All right, players are automatically eligible for a GBE in circumstances where they meet the prerequisite percentage threshold of international appearances for those national teams placed in the top 50 of the FIFA World Ranking. All right. So you have an automatic pass grade. So you have around four different phases or none. Um, because we're talking about non-EU cataract, so we have to kind of convert it to our side because then
Yeah,
they give
man.
you a
Non-EU,
specific one.
non-EU,
So
Africa.
non-EU, is we fall into non-EU. That's the thing. We fall into
Mm-hmm.
non-EU. All right. So
Go
we
ahead.
fall into non-EU. So if so, you have the first choice. If Jamaica was um you have a player. So, for instance, Damian Lowe, because he was the one that talked about it never really helped him. It never really helped him because Jamaica dropped out of the top 50. So, if he has the number of games, 1000%, because he played a majority of the games since he signed for Jamaica national team. We were under the top 50 for the longest while. All right. So, I don't know why is it as soon as he was going to get a deal tomorrow morning we drop out of the top 50 because that's what he explained, similar to exactly that, You understand me? So that's the case that happened to Damian Lowe there. But you had other channels, legal channels that you could have actually gotten through. All right. Yes. So let me continue. They said, "Oh, often a player needs to play. I've played depends." Cataract. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Sleep.
No,
Okay, okay, you have the mic to your face too close,
my
Yes.
face too close to the
you have, you
mic.
have, you have breathe, you have breathe, and we know you not have the
No,
pity.
Jesus, peace. No, me tell you something, the 200 today, brother. But I wicked. Lord of mercy. Now we have to go on. But go ahead and read. I'm very interested in what you're saying. It's very important.
JD, pin the link when you're ready for especially invited guests to join. Okay, but Brian Mighty, you see you're troubling you. I'm gonna drop the link for you to join. Me not have nobody, no had a guest when I want join. You understand me? So you just pin the link and come on, Brian Mighty. All right. Anyways, so that is the first step. That is the first step, guys. That will continue. Because sometimes Keter break it. How often a player needs to have played depends on the rank of their national team. If the player's international appearances meet the auto pass percentage set down by the FA, then it will automatically grant a GBE. So once you pass those things, you play for your country every single time. You don't have no problem, and them inside the top 50, you don't have any problem at all. All right, but they have different other metrics. All right, so Brian Mighty coming in. In the event that a player is not granted an auto pass, this is where we have majority of the problems. The FA will grant, and this is for just England alone, you guys, because I'm going to give you the European one, and you're going to drop down with the European one. Cataract will drop down. All right. In the event that a player is not granted an auto pass, the FA will grant a GBE if a player is able to achieve 15 or more points in accordance with criteria they have set down. Points can be scored from 6 different categories, including players' international status, the league that the player is transferring from, minutes played in continental competition, EU, i.e., UEFA Champions League, Europa League. All right, yeah, just that's an example. That's not the actual thing. All right, because all the registered leagues, so MLS and those things, they can get points from the MLS as well. All right, in in essence, the more a player has played at a higher level, the greater the points awarded, and the higher the prospect of successfully obtaining a GBE from the FA. Separate rules apply in respect of under 21 players. All right, but they broadly follow the same process as senior players, as under 21 players are also able to gather points across 6 distinct criterias. All right. The FA operates further GBA criteria apply for managers, assistants, and we don't want to hear that. We don't care about the manager. We just want to talk about the players themselves. And I had I'm gonna get, but while we continue, I'm gonna get the actual requirements right here. Um, 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 Cataract and Mighty. But the problem is, it's not solely down to just what you do for your country. If you're in a registered league and you're playing every single week, it would not actually stop you. Your actual game time in your national team put with your registered league that you're playing would gather your natural points to get the GBE. GBE is just like an entry for you to be eligible to play in
It's the ex, the,
the pass
it's
to
the
get to play.
exemption. It's the exemption given.
Yes, so exemption, better word, exemption. Yes, but what you realize, it's not solely down to the national team caps. If you're the national team ranking, you can use the national team caps and also your actual countries, your actual club caps put together, and you allocate the points as well. So I don't naturally think that when I heard Diamelo spoke about just the two things, he could have gone deeper. And if he wanted to truly go to that club, he could have gone to that club just the same, because he played a lot for Jamaica. And also, he played a lot for a MLS team at the time that he's talking about. And MLS would have been on the list as well, because MLS is a fully professional league that's moving players, that's doing well in the top leagues. And those are the things that helps you in the points tally. All right, so that is one thing I have to say. So people only get like them, and they just get it right, and hopefully helps you in the end. All right, yes, because may hear him say it, and I was checking it. But for Europe now, guys, let me just drop the European one. The European one, I'm very sorry to tell you guys, in Europe, especially Belgium and Netherlands, you hear this Cataract? There is no exemption. You hear that, Cataract?
No exemptions required.
None. The only thing is they have to always make sure they pay you over salary. In Belgium, 79,000 in total to clear the tax. So even if you get less money, they are paying back money to clear the tax, and 83,000 in Netherlands just to clear the tax. So anybody come here and say that they need ass, cow, and foot to play in Netherlands and Belgium, it's not true. And I'm going to make sure I get it on a paper to put it here. So anytime people come with these metrics, we can clear it up. All right. So it's just a payment of the player really is the problem. And obviously, if you have your passport issue, that's not counted. You have to get your own life sorted out and get your papers together. You get me? And more likely, if you have your passport and everything, and they want you to pay, and if they want you to pay, and if they want you, they will pay your damn fee to come there. So if you're getting 80,000, you will get a visa in no time. No time. You have no problem to get the visa. All right, because they're gonna give you the letter to get the visa. So once they're willing to pay you over 79,000 to 83,000, we are gonna bring the paper here because I told my boss to print it out for me, and I will bring it here for you. So once you get paid between that and a yearly salary, you are good. All right, and sometimes it might not reflect in your actual salary because some have to go to tax, and you know the tax between Netherlands and Belgium. So I don't have to say much there. All right. So if you're getting 50,000, maybe 35,000 going to tax, and that's why you don't know that you passed the exemption to reach there. All right. Yes. So sorry about that, Brian Mighty and Cataract. But what say you guys so far? Because the show, I thought it's a good show so far. What say you?
I'll let Brian start since I've been on before him.
Yeah, Brian, say
That's a
him a
first.
trouble, you know.
That's a
Me
yo.
know him gonna laugh without you know.
Yeah, man. Even everyone.
Evening.
Yeah, interesting. I mean, interesting information. I didn't know about the exact amount for the salary cap in terms of Belgium and Netherlands,
Mhm.
but I knew that there wasn't any real blockage once a player is good enough and has the quality. So I mean, I don't think a lot of Jamaicans would have known about the rule or how it's supposed to be applied. So I think that is good information for the coaches or persons who are interested in getting players overseas. Um, and let's see. So no, we don't need anybody to come and tell us anymore that them need players to get caps in order for them to go to Europe, or that persons can't play in the team can't go to Europe because they are being blocked. So if your player is good enough and shows the quality and convince the persons in the other countries that they are good enough, then them will go and play and there should be a problem.
Yeah, and it just pay money, you know. Once people are willing to pay the money for you, you know. So, for instance, Zimenez went there. He went on more of a development thing, but even Zimenez package should still be up there. If he should always get over 40,000,
Yeah, but
50,000.
there was even a player signed. He played one season in the JPL out here. Not even a full season, and he was recently signed to a Slovenia club, top division club.
All right.
His agency is International Dimension. I think it's the same agency that Shamar Nicholson and Kaim Paris is assigned to. And he got a 3 or 2.5 year deal to a top division club in Slovenia. And he never played for Jamaica at any level too. So yeah.
So this metric, I'm getting a feedback on Brian Mighty. I don't know what happened, but maybe you don't have any earpiece. So this metric, no. J Taylor, the problem is it only goes to prove to you that the unnecessary fighting of people want this and want that. It doesn't is not necessary. But what I've discovered, people always want to take every single loophole rather than just do the right thing. Because if you do the right thing, if your player is good enough, a man not gonna take up him 100,000 pay for your player if him not good enough. But once them think you deem good enough, they are going to take their money out and pay it. Because Zimenez, a club that clearly tell you that a club saw Zimenez fit and pay 80,000, at least 79,000 euros a year on him. A year on him. All right. So you can count it in Jamaica how much millions he's not getting it, you know. He's not getting his that full of that, you know, because of pay tax guys. So we're not talking about kids, people money. We're just saying that the club saw Zimenez fit to pay him the money. All right. Yes, so we don't want to hear no excuse. Anybody good, they can go anywhere. So we don't want to hear the lies and the trauma and everything because more Jamaicans go in places. All right, which Jamaican who follow football don't know that England have the most stringent rules. JD, you were right about players signing in Belgium last night. They were getting ready to say you don't know what you're talking about, but J Taylor, remember I am doing. Remember, J Taylor, as I've said, straight to military. You're in Jamaica. You should tell me about Jamaica. Stop acting as if you know about the entire world because you don't. I've already said some things that is not true. You understand me? You get second-hand information, verify them yourself, because the 15 years old can play here, because at the end of your 15-year-old cycle, you're already they already start to transition you. In Belgium is one of the best in the world doing that. All right, so that's why you could work the hours. They give you the 40 hours under the shift, and then once you turn 16, you get the full unlimited package. So you have the rules there, but you just needed to read. So when they said it, I was willing to prove to them, JT. I have no problem. We get to learn. Maggie getting over 100 and sit down on the bench, but it still goes to show you, Cataract said this myth. So why are we? The question we have to ask, the big question in the room, why are we targeting England? Because it's England, and I'm bringing Germany to you, and I'm bringing Germany and Spain to you on the next show, guys. We're going to bring Germany rules and Spain rules to you on the next show. All right, but why are we targeting England when we can get players out there in other leagues?
So
That is the
JD,
main question to ask.
if I may enter on the reference, there are a couple of things. The first is, and I'm not buying this thing that is not a factual show, is that even if you don't have all of those things, because we see where Argentinian teenagers are being sought after and signed by English Premier League clubs. There's what you call, even further to the GBE, if you can demonstrate to the Home Office that this person has a talent or a skill, and it doesn't only go for football, it goes for anything in the world.
Anything, yes, that is accurate as well.
That cannot be found in England. You are given an exception to get a work permit. So this is about a work permit, you know. So I didn't think you brought that out. So I'm just saying, this is about your permission to work in the country. Because many clubs do is sign players and then loan you back out. Either back out to the club that they signed you from, or back out into a league in Europe that does not have these requirements. So that's another avenue. If you're talented, but you don't have some of the requirements, they can sign you, loan you right back out straight away. You don't set foot in Great Britain. However, to demonstrate that you are an exceptional talent, you have to pay a premium salary to that person, right? And that's where the 30 million pound and the 10 million pound comes in. So there are players who have never played for Argentina who are signing into the Premier League. I already done so much transfers. I think Chelsea is looking at one of the players from Vélez Sarsfield. There's a thing over teenage. He has never played for Argentina. He didn't go to the World Cup. He don't have no caps. However, if they are willing to pay the amount over, the Home Office that grants work permits will say, okay, you have demonstrated that this player is demonstratively better than the talent that we have in the UK. So that's another avenue. But as to the question is why England? For two simple reasons in my view. One is the language barrier. And so people feel it's easier linguistically and culturally that you have a Jamaican community for players to transition to. But I think there's another more greedy way, which is England pays the highest wage in the world outside of Paris Saint-Germain and obviously even Saudi Arabia, because the only reason they're able to pay Cristiano Ronaldo that large sum of money, Al Nassr, is because they didn't pay the transfer fee. So he basically got the money that they would have paid to transfer him, right? And so
there's another reason, but I'll tell you when you're finished.
I'd love to hear. I only had two reasons.
Yeah, man. So here are the next thing now. Because I've been involved in dealings with clubs outside. I mean, in other jurisdictions in terms of transferring players and stuff. One of the things you find is you see a lot of the clubs in even MLS or in USL or those other places, what tends to happen is they don't like to pay transfer fees. And so the clubs in Jamaica, I guess, are probably of the greater belief that if a player is going to England, they will be more likely to get a transfer fee paid upfront. So a lot of the clubs in some of the Scandinavian countries, they want the local clubs to not charge. They want to take the player on loan, and then they ask you to waive your right to collect the training compensation or the solidarity payments. They actually put that in writing. Um, I think there was even a case where Portmore had to bring what's the club name? Columbus Crew to FIFA because when Columbus Crew had drafted a player from the college system, and Portmore was saying that yeah, he come through the college system and he's free, but we are owed solidarity payments and training compensation for him because we've had him for him was like 10 and now he's 20, so we need that money.
Mm-hmm.
And they were refusing to pay. I think they eventually did pay
I got you.
after certain battles with FIFA and stuff like that. So that's also one of them. Maybe not a major reason, but the
But
clubs
Brian,
feel they are more inclined to benefit that way.
that's an important reason. And the thing is, but it doesn't feed into what we are saying. Look here, I don't say that the
No,
players,
no,
my fellow Jamaicans, are
catch her. But what add this part in it too as well, because I think this is what we keep on overlooking. Damien, you use it. So what about the simple reason of hyping up yourself? Like not never going for you, and you just want to use it because you know say it's a blockage. What about that? Because I
I,
think
I,
that
I,
is something is very much valuable, because sometimes people know it's gonna be hard, so they use it as an excuse as well. So what
I,
about that? Because they
I,
know they don't
I,
follow the money, and also it's gonna be almost impossible to get there. So what about that?
I don't. Well, let me. I'll try to address that, but I don't want to address the subjective matter. I allow Brian to. I want to address the substantive objective matter, which Brian just put, which is Brian. Footballing players go based on value,
Mm-hmm.
and basically, Jamaica is like a sail out. It's like when you reach a Coronation Market, 6 o'clock Saturday evening, everything I sail out. Is either them going to spoil for you, or you have to take it back, go a country, go feed pig. Right? So you just try to sell it for anything you can get. And I believe that might be one of the bigger reasons because clubs are not, if you are a developed player, I remember that word, JD, when they asked you before about the difference between
Mm-hmm.
developed, talented, and skilled. If you are a developed player, clubs will pay for you. But what they're not going to pay for is raw talent that has no track record of professional football. So really, what we are demanding fees for are semi-professional players. Now, just take
Mm-hmm.
one step back to England. Where have you
Mm-hmm.
heard of a player moving from non-league football to Premiership or Championship and commanding a fee?
But
It don't
that's what
happen.
I'm telling you. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. What? How much percentage of this is just cap out? Of just person just use it for publicity stunt, really, because they know it's not possible. You get me? Because what I've learned is to say that this 10 million thing is not so much of a full true statement, because the 10 million is just the highest bidder, So that's for the Premier League, It alters down when it goes to the championship,
It
That is what
does.
people never talked about,
Okay, sorry. So
That's
I,
that's
I
why I
thought it
use that
wasn't
statement.
clear.
That's why I use that statement because it's not the same for the championship. It's
So
not the same for
a
the
championship
championship.
club doesn't pay $10 million for a player. That's not the
No,
kind of
no,
transfer
no.
fee that goes on in it.
How,
So I
how
thought
much?
people knew that. I thought people knew that.
No, but so,
But I
but
don't
wait.
know the fee. I don't know the
Okay,
figure for championship.
no,
Sorry.
1.2 million, 1.2 million. The start. So it's almost 10% of it. ten
Okay.
percent of it. So then, are we producing talents? We have to start ask the question: Are we producing talents to just jump
No,
from Jamaica go straight in the Premier League?
no.
So that's
And
why I'm asking the question if this is a cap out and look,
we have
sorry to use
JD.
Damien Lewis. Sorry
We
to
have
use Damien.
never produced a player that has gone from the JPL to the Premier League.
But we had my boy from Tivoli that he never went straight to the Premier League.
Who?
In Brian Mighty, he never went
Fuller?
straight to the Premier League. No man, what a
Fuller?
guy didn't.
Jeremy Johnson?
He never went straight to the Premier League.
No, it's
No.
Championship.
Championship.
Oh, never
Championship
really.
and then got promoted.
Okay, okay, all right, never. All right, but all I'm saying is, with that proven that it's not the same 10 million. It's actually lower. Um, if it's
I,
1.2 million,
and I
what
apologize
would have
because I
stopped?
just thought it was obvious that people know
No,
that people don't transfer for $10 million
but I
without the
keep on having
championship.
fights. I keep on having fights with people because every minute they get some misinformation coming back here, and then when we ask the people, and the people will say, "No, nothing, no, don't go so," because me don't know why. So we have to start ask if it's just like it's just for propaganda fame. Because that's what I have to start thinking
JD,
of. Because the first thing a man will say, the reason why I reach England, it is because of the market value. When that's not actually true, because I saw the market value of a player, and if someone look, you can't tell me say a man would spend 1.3 million on Bennett, that is 17 years old from Costa Rica, and wouldn't spend 1.3 million on Damian Lowe. I don't think that's what stopped you from reaching there, bro. They just never see it fit to pay the 1.3 million for you then, if they wanted you. That's what I'm trying to get to. So I'm trying to say sometimes these people use these things for cap out, because they know that we have a society that will grab onto things and they don't know the truth. You understand me? Just to keep on pushing it, but it's not actually true. That's what I'm trying to say. It cataract straight up. I'm saying most of these statements are not true. When you hear this England talking, it's not true because they set it away that they can get to come in the country.
okay. So Jermaine Johnson left from Tivoli and went to Bolton in 2001. I think I definitely would
Eddie Johnson
stand.
went straight to EPL. He
No,
made
hold
his
on, hold
debut
on,
against
hold on.
Arsenal. But Brian says no. Brian agree with you. Said he never went.
I'm
So
just getting the facts. I'm just getting the facts because I mean I, I don't want
yeah,
to
but the
again.
conversation goes back then. Are
But
we
but
have
but then even you saying Jesus Christ, it would be only one player. It would be only
yes?
one player. And yes, he went to the Premier League in 2001. He played 10 games in the Premier League um, at an average of about 45 minutes per game.
A- and
So
and this thing of a Jamaican player not valuable. Mad vibes. Not. I heard this statement already. The trust is different from the value. If the quality of the player is there, Brian, the quality of the player is there. It no matter where him come from, the quality of the value is there. It's all down to your agent to negotiate a deal, and that the money comes, and maybe what you did in football before. Those things combine together to make your value. You understand me? I don't think if a man is talented in Jamaica, yeah, because he's from Jamaica, it stops him from going places. No, I don't actually believe that. People want talent. When you score a goal, guys, the man not care where you come from. The man not. You think when Ivan Tony scored, nobody care. Say an Hurricane scored. Who have time for that? You understand me? So I think we need to stop use excuse and just look for the actual factual things, and we just move on from there. You get me? But these factual things can stop these propaganda from happening. That's all I'm saying. So you know the truth. So clearly people have to just stay on track and stop mislead people, because simple, a next kid can be talented in the country and they can know the rules to get places. You understand me, Cataract? So these are important. When people muddy the water for their own deeds, it kind of not help the actual country. It harm the country, not knowing the truth. You get me? Yes, that's how we're saying. I think Claude went straight to the England's top league. All right, fair enough. But that's all I was actually saying on this statement. Still, I never had much a broader picture on it. Yeah, we are here, Tennessee. We are here, burning down the building, talking some things. Yes, so Cataract. So what say you on that?
so
Because I was trying to be strong on this statement, but it looks like either you're gonna get beat up out the road, so you couldn't talk.
where's the beat up auto road
Not
on
true, we are
what? No,
Cataract,
I'm not.
are you look
No,
war
I'm
so?
just saying. No, I'm not worrying. I'm querying. When I'm ready to war, I'll tell you my war. You know my war status.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on a stream with the esteemed Brian Mighty and
Mm-hmm.
JD, and I am trying to articulate footballing facts. No, I stood corrected because I thought that he actually went to the championship, Jermaine Johnson, and so lo and behold, there is one player who went directly to the Premier League
Yeah, but that was a whole
22
yes.
years ago.
Yeah, that was a long time. The footballers evolved
No,
in England and also declined in Jamaica because of that. A lot of people said.
and
A lot of people. I don't know
I'm
if
not
I
putting
want to
any
hear from.
caveat. I'm not
No,
putting any caveat on
but
it. I'm
we
just
have
saying
Brian
that's
Might
the
here.
fact.
We have
No,
Brian Might
hold on.
here. Brian, I want to hear Brian Might have to say on that because
No, but
a
let
lot
me,
of people. That's
JD,
right.
why
Hold on.
can't
The
let me finish a
question me
point?
ask.
Why can't let me finish a point, my brother?
Yeah,
Please.
because you never the answer. So me that try
No,
ask.
I'm
Brian Might.
saying to you that it's a fact that Jermaine Teddy Johnson
Mm-hmm.
went from Tivoli Gardens, transferred
Yes,
to Bolton Wanderers in the championship.
in the
He played
championship.
it not in the Premier League. He played 10 games in his first season and a grand total of 2 games in his second season. And it's not even really 2 games, but it's really like, and I'll give you what the facts are, 28. He played the grand total of 50 minutes in an entire second season. So getting there is one thing, remaining there is a whole other. However, he did, you know what I mean? He moved and he was transferred on to the championship and he went to Oldham Athletic, I think, is the next place he went to. And honestly, I believe that the standard that we produce, I don't think we produce Premier League players. I think our best players could probably find a home in the mid championships on soil. Because it's not only about the talent and skill you have to be consistent. And
Mm-hmm.
the championship has more games than the Premier League, right? Because there are 22 teams down there.
I don't think it. You have a lot of thing factor. It have more games, but the quality is not as high as the Premier League. We have to be honest too as well.
No,
It's
but
high, you know. The
if
quality is high.
it
Don't
was
get
as
me
high
wrong.
as the Premier League, it would be the Premier League.
Yeah, but I catch up. But you mentioned the amount of games, and I'm just trying to say that the quality is not as high, so that factors in as well. So you have to, even if it's 1% less work you have to put in, it's still 1%, just the same. You know, that's all I'm saying, Cataract.
No, you
But I
don't have
want
to put
to
in
bring
less
in.
work because hold on, the difference between the championship, and the
Mhm.
Premier League in terms of pace. Remember that teams get relegated from the Premier League and can't make it back out the championship. So it's not this big.
But
It's
they got
hold on.
relegated. They got relegated. That's the problem.
I mean, that's the problem. No, JD, hold
Yeah,
on. No,
because
man,
they got
hold on. Let
relegated.
us
Cataract.
reason,
That's
man. No,
it.
don't be flippant. Let us reason.
Hmm.
Many Premier League teams, including the team that I support, went
Yes.
down with big name brand players. And the
Okay. And
Premier
what
League
happened?
squad that hold on, man. Let just make the
Mm-hmm.
point
Let
now.
me hear what you're gonna say. Me type in Leeds and
When
show
Leeds was relegated, we went down with a squad that the previous season had reached the semi-finals of the Europa League. Right? You had the
foot.
Australian Mark
You have
Viduka,
Mark Viduka,
Etal,
You have Lennon.
etc. Right?
Lennon. I know all of them because I was watching it as well.
And we could not come out for 16 years. So
Yeah,
there's not a hold
but
on, let me
Cataract,
finish now,
Cataract,
man.
you feared Cataract.
Come
Stop
on.
act like the man was the same player. It's not as we are explaining Cataract. But continue.
No, you no, because the players
God.
left from Leeds. Harry Kewell left from Leeds and went to Liverpool and
Yes,
had
stop
a
act
couple
like
of
the same
seasons,
team.
right? So I'm saying to you that the gulf, the gap that you think is not this
Mhm.
big wide Sargasso sea like the thing there. It might be a river because it is difficult for teams who come up from the championship. They generally tend to get relegated. But if you look at it, all 3 teams that come up don't all go down. And in the last few seasons, generally it has been one of the promoted teams that has
Yeah,
gone back down, not
but
all 3.
Cataract, all I'm saying, look, Fulham came up. Fulham doing well, right? You have Nottingham first came up. They bought everybody on planet Earth, so you can't. Bournemouth came up. they couldn't add everyone, and then their coach left them because they couldn't add everyone. Um, you have to understand, say it's not the same teams majority of the time. It's not, and no one comes up and just don't add anybody. It's rare that happen, and they stayed in the Premier League. So it's hard to factor those things. That's all I'm saying. And when Leeds went down, they dropped off people, because remember when Leeds got relegated, it's because of the financial problem as well. You never
Yes,
it. So
because
that
because
they couldn't
Manchester
pay
United is
people.
a big informer, dirty
They
club.
couldn't pay people as well. So obviously some of those bigger players would have actually left. So it's not the same. So when you said that they couldn't come out back
No,
of the
but
two, of the league, that's not 100%. That's
no,
all I'm saying.
let me tell you why it's 100%. Because with the money that we sold players for, we also bought players. Because the likes of Michael Dewberry and those guys came in from Michael Dewberry came from
Yeah,
Chelsea,
Dewberry,
right?
Kelly, Cadwell, Art, Milner,
No, Hart was
Matteo.
always there. Hart was always there.
No, I'm
Mateo,
telling you who is there.
Dominic Mateo
Looking
was
at
always
them.
there.
No, okay, continue. Me just try to tell you.
Phil Masinga, um, the big South African defender, stayed with us when we were down
Mhm.
there. Lucas Radaby, right? So we didn't ship out 10 players. You had to offload some players, but we also bought players. So all I'm saying is, it's obvious that the championship is not the same level as the Premier League. That would be
Mhm.
stupid to be arguing that. But I'm saying it's not a golf. And I'm also saying that you can't just go in a top championship league team, because a top championship league team is generally prepared for the bottom of the Premier League. If you understand what I say. They're not going
Okay.
to win the Premier League, but they're going to be prepared to come 16, 17, 18. That's what they're trying to do. Come 17 so that they don't get relegated. 18, 19, 20. So that's what it is. So look at Burnley. Burnley is buying players now because they are running away with it, because they expect to be back in the Premier League next year. So the players that you are playing with for against Vincent Company's team are players that are either ready for, or within a couple of months will be ready to perform in the Premier League. So it's a very difficult league. Look, I can tell you the teams that have gone down there. The Sheffield United went down. They can't, struggling to come back up. Norwich is a yo-yo team because what they do, they don't buy nobody, right? They just collect the money, pocket it, and they go up and down. They are the traditional yo-yo team. But many teams go down and get lost. Look where Bolton is. Bolton was a traditional Premier League team. Bolton is in League Two. Notts County. When I went to England, Notts County and Nottingham Forest were original Premier League teams. That the Nottingham Derby. Because the first university I went to was Nottingham. Notts County is in non-league football now.
Okay, Katarok. We started from one story, and
So yeah,
we
man.
can't do this. Anyways, we
Well, no,
want
but
to
these facts we giving. So yeah,
yeah,
but go take it back to where you're going.
yeah,
The
but
fact is that we don't have the requisite developed players to move directly from the JPL to the Premier League or even the Championship. And so therefore, when I think players are turning their nose up at, for example, Darren Moore, it has been stated, and he said it, would love to have taken players at Sheffield Wednesday. But people turn up their nose at League One. But maybe that's what you're good for, brother.
all right. So basically, because we want to bring in Brian. Brian speaks. Mike Sato, the echo coming back. We want to discuss how we can really pick teams, like how we can evaluate talents, like to find the right talent. Because me think say that is our problem in Jamaica right now. You get me? A mixture between what we think we actually do as players in the country, and overall picking talent for the national teams. So we know that Brian actually much more versed with the local talents, and he has educated us on a lot of things. But we want to know how we truly can pick talents going forward, because we have a situation in the U-17 now. When I first did the video, because people need to listen to me, I've been right from a while back, with Merrion Garden's the first statement Merrion Garden made. He said that, yeah, we had our players. We had our players. We're working together with some structured plan. We have designed players for a while back. I played the clip that he did on TVJ. No foreign player never came in. as well. And he said then we have a few foreign players coming in. That was from a good stretch, before they started to train. And then after we heard that players came in, and then now we heard that some player got cut. And when we heard the reasons why the players them got cut, it's kind of confusing. And then we heard a plethora of other stories around it, and it's like it comes down to what the coach wants. So it's kind of confusing. So how you think we should deal with this special position that we're in, where we have diasporan that are actually higher level the players than what we truly have in our country? How we deal with it, how we manage it, because we know that we have the people on the island, and it can seep in a wrong way. So we want to approach it the proper way, Brian. So what say you on that? How you think we can fix this going forward?
Yeah, I hear me better now.
Yeah, man, we are here.
I'm hearing you good. But we have some
Yes.
echo, JD. You can balance him
Yeah.
thing. I am echoing too.
A Brian Mighty sound, me a killer. If Mikey, a Brian Mighty big sound, so we have to either him need a earpiece or something. But if me stop talk and you stop talk, him not echo none at all.
I got him muted. I'm muting my mic.
Yeah, Mighty, what do you think?
Hello?
Yeah, man, we there, boss.
Yeah. So what me say is, the truth is, you see, in terms of selection of talent and stuff, that I got always be subjective, because where we might think is suitable talent in in the eyes of the coaches many times are not. And the truth is, them don't even talk a lot to the public. So you can't even really get a feel for what them a say or what they are thinking, really, because them all they talk, them know how they interview, them limit the interview. I mean, I was watching an interview the other day with the senior team coach, and you heard the press officer in the back, yo, two more question. I'm like, and I think Wayne Walker was it that asked a question, and the man just said, yo, cut it lesser. And in the middle of the coach answer the man and say, yo, no more question or whatever. I mean, so sometimes we don't even know. I mean, the truth is, in the last couple of years, from forever, well, not forever, but in the last couple of cycles, the under 17 and under 20 teams have been severely underprepared. And I'm telling you why I say this. We're preparing the under 17 team to go and play a tournament, and we host a trial in December before the Christmas break in Florida. And then in January, the tournament is in February, and in January, we are still having players coming in mass numbers to try and pick out who is best. Now, whether we want to believe it or not, the players who are here training or who have been training for a while will have an unfair advantage, because the coach will see them, he will develop a relationship with them, he may know them for an extended period of time, and them things there will affect his decision in terms of who him pick and who him don't pick and stuff like that. So the only solution I think maybe to that is to start earlier. That would be one. Two, I don't think up to this point we have developed a mechanism to even track players and know what's happening with players, whether them they're England, Europe, America, wherever. We not have a mechanism to track them and things. So at the end of the day, it's going to all come down to who a person see and can recommend. Because the work that people like Cataract do and Simon Preston and whoever, we don't have nobody in the JFF who is doing that. Who is being paid to do that. We don't have nobody doing that, So you may have a kid in Arsenal who is a very good talent, and he might be 15. But the truth is, or he might be 14 or whatever. But we don't know about him until he turns 17. And we have to say, yo, he's a wonder kid, we could bring him in. When it is quite possible that we could have known about him from he was 14 and keeping tabs on him and saying, all right, watch him development, watch him progress. And then when he reach 16 now, you can say, all right, him reach a level and him can help us. Or him not reach a level yet. Make a wait and see if he will get better at under 20. And you pick somebody else. But I mean, because we don't have the structure there, a man just get up and say, yo, that youth are playing at Chelsea, bring him come. When he may very well not even have the requisite talent where you need. But because he might play at Chelsea, a man also bring him come. Or because the person who recommend him have likability or whatever, so we say, all right, yeah, man, that man I recommend him, so I'm good. Or that man I father used to play for Jamaica 20 years ago, so him son good. I saw it operating a brother, man say, yo, John Brown used to go work up with the carry him son come. Them not even care if him good. Him father did good, so them I saw it operate, brother. Cause even the kid who come from US the other day, him come. How long them look on him for? What if when them look on him and think him don't good him have a half day? Who has been tracking him for no say, yo, this youth has a good talent in him, can play, him have ability, him can do this, him can do that. All right. If him have a half day today, all right, maybe him have a half him, look on him the next day. But at the first sign of poorness or whatever, he may get cut. And it's not necessarily the coach's fault in a way, because we don't have full-time youth coaches. When they employ the coach, when we have work up qualifier, brother, give them a work. You get what I say? So them not have the time to really and truly sit down and look at players and assess them and evaluate them and stuff. Unless they're going to do it for them own free will. Because I mean, a man might in the federation today as under 17 coach, but the next cycle him lose him job. So him not even have a time. Because remember, if you want to develop a player for under 17, you really and truly need to prepare from 2 years before. But the coach him get the job 2 months before, and then him have 500 kids to look on, and him have 1,000 people who call him at the have a next 1,000 people who can play for Jamaica or who have Jamaican heritage, and then him have a man who go down a home would call him, and him have him friend him and him be go to college where coaching at Clarendon College I call him. So it not go work. And a peer pressure alone, JD, but it's just a realistic.
And lack of time.
JD, when you finish, I'd like to.
So pure pressure management from not the coaches, but from the administration for bringing people and set things inside. Because what we have here, Brian Mighty.
Brother, hold on, you know, say the thing keep I Florida the other day. Are some private citizen organizer, you know, brother?
Yes, I heard about it.
Yes, back where we are going, brother.
I
Are some private citizen. So what? Me ask a question now. All right.
Brian,
man, I got finish up now. Yeah, me
no,
finish
man,
up now.
I don't rush you, you know.
No, man, yeah, man, cool.
Yeah,
so maybe.
So let we mute on it, Brian.
Yeah, so maybe, you know, all right. As some private citizens organize it. Maybe, and the truth is, me genuinely think that them are out of the goodness of them heart. But what if you have a man there, you know, who say, he better toes US, and me have my grandnephew, me want him in our team. Because me organize this trip here and pay for them coach account to come look on them player. It is reasonable for things that man they'll get him away, brother. Even though I now say them do it in the butt, it's reasonable to think that.
Yes, I get it.
Yeah.
Damn. It sounds rough, man. It sounds rough, but you put some valid points, Brian. Very valid points. You continue,
JD. Okay, so Brian, I don't have to mute your mic because of the feedback thing, but we're gonna work with it, man. Enough time you have to play with.
I think Brian doesn't need to jump off of the link and then come back. Me send the link to Brian. Brian, the number thing, Brian, don't give me the damn number, so I can't add it. So I can't send
me I'll get the number. No, brother. Check it, chat.
Me add it
chat.
Again.
Don't put your number in that chat.
Brian, I know the man will take him away.
That's what I'm about.
Yeah, private chat, brother.
Brian,
so you feel like with a choppy line. I call it tomorrow as hi, my name is Gray. You want to buy some SSL stocks today?
All right, may I save it now, Brian? May I save it now? Now make it go away. You continue, Qatar.
So Brian, no. Brian, let me tell you, it is even more disastrous than that because I am just here. If you notice, we even turn on my mic, just flabbergasted at what you said. But I want to add and start at the point where we begin with a coach whose genuine belief is I thought you were on mute. His genuine belief is nonsensical, right? Which is that the schoolboy players in Jamaica are better than professional players. That's where we start. And that obviously we can win this World Cup with schoolboy players. And that's because That's what he knows. That's what he's been around with. That's the cuisine that he eats on a day-to-day basis, or he consumes. I'm going to put that word, consumes. That's his diet. Now, the work that I do, and when I looked up, and I tell you, and this is even with the difficulties of tracking or contacting under 17 players who are minors. Because as I'm going to tell JD before, when me make a reach out to a couple of you, I think come back to me for home office and we need to speak to you about this human trafficking. And me just have to pull up and stop, brother, because you're talking to a minor about leaving England to come to Jamaica. Leave one jurisdiction to come to another. The Sankey can't sing so. So it takes time. But as the coach, it's easier. Now here's the practical things I would say, JD. And when the JFF does this, I would believe that they are interested in the real development of kids and not the lies. Take a Jamaica under 17 team, go to England and play an invitational team of players who are eligible to play for Jamaica, and let us all see the result and cut the fuckery out. If we beat the English players by 3 goals to nil, 2 goals to nil, 5-0, then we know the Englishman, they're not good. But what I do believe might happen is that we might get routed. It's the equivalent of what a national trials would be in equivalent, because track and field is a individual sport, football is a team sport. But you would actually get to see the players played against each other. And you know what's funny enough? The under 17s would actually be played against professionally developed quality instead of played against minor.
Ketra, right there, I want you to drop something right there. Maybe we're in, just to help you out as well. You have Kingston Football Academy actually send a team of Jamaicans going over there. Obviously, they are not going to be playing against strict Jamaicans, but it's just the next way to judge how good some of these academies growing up, the local guys them. So I'm just saying that's a better way to look at it as well.
And I'm sorry, but you are then what you're doing is bastardizing my point. Until we have the national under 17, national under 15, national under 20 squad, when we have said, okay, we have prepared them for 6 months, undertake the funding and take them to England and play them against in a 2-match series, maybe one in London and one in Birmingham, against the players who are eligible. Therefore, you as the coach can see with your own eyes, we the public can see. I am not talking about no academy going and visit, because when an academy go and visit, who have visa, in case you never know, right? Because many players in academies and in local clubs don't have visa.
I know, Ketra, but
right?
I'm just
no man. But you're conflating the thing, and I'm saying national players against those eligible for Jamaica. And we will see what those eligible for Jamaica have to offer to us. Because if a striker in England at Arsenal and him no good, it will become obvious, because if he played 2 matches against Jamaica and can't score no goal against stats defender and Clarendon College defender, that means we don't need him. So that's my first solution to the problem. The second is, it's what I call something that's illogical, which is the reason that says, because a player they are Arsenal, that no mean him better than a player where they are Clarendon College. Actually, it does, my brother. And where we have that evidence is in this under 17. Because 4 players who I was informed are eligible to play for Jamaica, including 6 who are at Arsenal. 6. As a matter of fact, there are 8 in Arsenal on the 17, but 2 of them born in 2005. Right? They have gotten, some of them now, since Jamaica has not made the necessary approaches, have gotten England call up. The goalkeeper, who you hear me talking about, the goalkeeper who eligible for Arsenal, he made a debut against Brazil and scored and saved 2 penalties on his debut. So you're telling me him no good? So our
get because me have a call come in and
you have a call coming.
yeah, but finish up your point. Go on, you finish your point.
No. And I'm the last thing I'm saying is the difference that a player, and they fear the players in professionally developed academies, because things like fitness will come into play, because they are training for 8 months to 9 months for the year, as opposed to a 3-month Manning Cup season. And therefore, even if they're not as skilled as we say, they can shift a man or pile a man, the fitness might turn out in the end. So it is for the JFF to, lastly, I'm going to say this, we have several coaches, including youth coaches. Dean Burton at West Bromwich Albion. Paul Hall was an under something coach at QPR Jason Newell is at Charlton Athletic in the honor things, right? Empower those former Reggae Boys to give you scouting reports on players who can potentially represent Jamaica. So don't take Cataract word for it. Don't take the selector from Coxon, who is the man who give me the 6th player from Arsenal, right? Don't take our word for it. Take people who are trained and certified. If Dean Burton said to you, say, yo, listen, Omari Hutchinson, he plays for Arsenal, but that boy no good, or he has a bad attitude. He's there seeing him, scouting him. Use the alumni to do the scouting work. Take your hand, make fashion. I pause.
All right. Yeah, pause, Cataract. Yes, guys, please. We have 160 at the nose. Please do subscribe and definitely the like button. Get us up to 200 likes. Obviously, we know some of you guys just came in, but just close down the chat and hit the like button. Get us over 150 so we can go to the 200. Let me bring in. We have Brian Mighty. And it sounds like it's working because we're not getting any echo, so it clearly look like it's working. So Brian Mighty. You saw that situation of what Cataract talking about, because I said we have Kingston Academy going over in England to play some quality teams. Obviously, it might be a lower level because obviously for both nations you would have the best of the best, but you still can look for a Jamaican player what they're doing, and obviously these are some of the better trained Jamaican players. So I would love to see how they can compete with what others doing. Obviously, I know the metrics that Cataract talking about is different, but it still would give you some understanding, right, Mighty? I don't think it would give you a true understanding. I don't know if Mighty.
Sir Brian Mighty, JD, please, I'm begging you, allow me to address this. My integrity.
What?
TikTok, the first thing you do is you run, because you know that this would show up your thing. And I come call hold on, JD. I come tell man about fake news.
No.
Troy Deeney applied.
Cataract, I'm deleting the comment. You don't see it don't happen in the chat. So I will delete the comment and we just move on. All right? You know, after answer it, we can just delete the computer. Moderator, just delete TikTok comment, please. All right, and we'll move on. All right? Brian Mighty, we're not hearing you. We're not hearing a big boss. I don't know what happened to Brian Mighty's mic. Your mic not working, Brian Mighty. We're not hearing you. At least I am not hearing. I'm not sure if Cataract and others hearing you.
I'm not hearing you.
All right, so we're not hearing you on the board. So sort it out and return back, Big Boss. Solid. What go on, Big Boss? Boss.
Blessing, am I echoing or
You want some echo? You want some reverb?
No, you're not echoing at all. You're okay. You're okay.
You're not echoing, but
okay?
JD
Yeah,
has to
yeah.
select the talk, when they take a mic for the use, so they say, fix up the
No,
echo and the reverb.
sometimes when we come with the show, I just want to have a show where people we can reason with the people. I don't want to have this one-on-one war with TikTok. I see that me yesterday after a good show. I now got them today.
Yeah, but me
So
never did
we
on the show
invite you
yesterday.
to the track, so you can't just lose your cool and lose. Me I try improve it. Me invite you and show. Me could just
Oh,
finish
okay,
it
okay.
with
Respect,
respect.
respect. Go
All
ahead,
right?
Solids. Go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, finish up.
Mm, yeah, man. I was listening to what Katarap was saying, and I actually did a video on it where I spoke about it, but on the senior level. I thought that if the coach is gonna bring a team of local players together to see what they're made of, to then compile a senior team, I'm saying, how are we gonna get those other guys in the loop in the UK who are maybe not at top clubs, but clubs that are equivalent to the level of the JPL, which we know that most likely those leagues are at a higher level. How we gonna balance and bring a fairness to the evaluation process? That was one of my reasons for doing that video, because I understand it's fun, it's okay that the coach is giving all the JPL players a look in, but let's not fool ourselves. We're not gonna get a full team out of that. And what we don't want is, I don't want, like last year when it's time for the Gold Cup, we start hearing about this a brother name from the club here England, this a brother name from a club here England, and nobody no get to look for him yet. So I'm saying, what? How is the coach gonna merge this and have some kind of camp? Maybe I was thinking maybe in the FIFA window, we have two teams. The guys that he has in the local camp here, maybe if it's home games, we have those guys playing one game, and then some players out of England that he needs to look at play in one game. So are the diaspora, the ones from England or the ones from America, Germany, whoever. Because what we want to do is we need to narrow down the pool, because it's great to speak about us having a big pool of players, but how much of these players are actually going to be on the team? I think the coach has the opportunity now in the early phase to basically narrow down the pool to know who are the actual players that we're going to use. And as for the thing that Cataract talk about with the local players, try it out in England, I believe strongly on if we until we stop using local coaches for the youth teams, we will never have a fair selection process. As we discussed the situation last night, not trying to go back into it, JD, but about Delano Splat. And I said I wanted to have some clarity on what happened. And basically, some of the statements that were made or some of the revelations. I also understand that the Jamaican local coaches have an ego and they look at discipline from a black and white level, as to where we have to understand culture, understand some of these youths are coming out of professional environment, and we can't carry them come to Jamaica. Not everybody can go come to Jamaica and enjoy using an outside toilet. Some people used to a proper environment. And so we can't just say, come when you come to Jamaica, the standard low, and we need you to get on board. So I believe that we have to remove local coaches and let them be assistant coaches at the youth level and learn their craft. But Marian Garden said it in that press conference when I still people still think I'm going after Marian Garden, but he said it. He said he's gonna look at the players and then construct a way, a system for them to play. And I strongly believe, I keep saying, the teacher doesn't walk into school and say, them pick me look like them to learn maths today. Who want to learn maths today? No, the teacher come in with a game plan. and says, your maths teacher coming in. This is what you're going to learn today. This is what we're trying to accomplish. Marion Garden is doing it the other way around. He's
So
saying,
JD,
it's coming.
Yeah,
Go
Cataract,
ahead.
JT, like, talking. You
J-
didn't hear.
oh no, I just heard him. I want to ask JT a question, so he
You,
can answer in his thing there. J Taylor, I referred to a goalkeeper at Arsenal who was called up and his debut for England. He kept a clean sheet, including saving 2 game penalties. Would you say that what would you say that says about the goalkeeper as a football person? What would you say would that say about the player?
I would say that who was the opponent? You said Brazil?
Brazil,
Oh, yeah, that sound. And what club is the keeper playing for?
Arsenal.
Oh, Keter, I strongly believe once you get into those academy, I don't think Arsenal is just picking up people who don't know what they're doing, you know? So I automatically think that kid is at least at some level have some level of football skills as to why he's at Arsenal in the first place. Let's just get that out there, you know? Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, man, I'm hearing you. But continue. I will take it up. I just want to hear your view because I know we differ a lot, but I'm glad we see things that way. Because if the player who is Jamaican, by the way, had gotten 6 goals gone past him against Brazil, we'd be saying him no good. But when him keep a clean sheet and save 2 penalties, we still saying that no mean him no good. So what can a player from England do for the Jamaican xenophobes to give them their credit?
Yeah, I realize I come to the realization that we're not trying to win at the youth level by having the best team. I think we want to win at the youth level by showing people that the local players can get it done. I strongly believe that now. It's like, see,
Or do you think they're trying to tell people that the Manning Cup and the Costa Cup are world class competitions?
not necessarily say world class competitions, but that we have world class talents in Jamaica, as we heard that a lot from a lot
so
of the
basically, what
local
you're saying, we
coaches.
are so fixated on proving that we're the best at something, so we completely going away from reality. Then we are pretty much mad in our
Y-
own
y-
science at this point. That's what you're saying.
Yes, it's like you're taking a hand car figure race against a Ferrari, and you probably know how
But,
that's gonna work out. One
but
has a
Mr. Dre, etc., and the guys, I said, kept a clean sheet. So that's not, he wasn't standing up all game and they lost 5-0 to Brazil and he saved 2 penalties. He kept a clean sheet.
But
So doesn't keeping a clean sheet tell you that a goalkeeper is of a particular standard? But if a goalkeeper, here's the funny thing, JD,
cataract.
JD, please indulge me and solid. Do you remember when JD White was brought into the squad and Dennis Taylor was dropped in the World Cup squad? And what we were told, the reason why was because he saved 2 penalties in the shootout against Waterhouse. You recall that, Jay Taylor?
Yeah, but cataract. I don't think keeping a clean sheet necessarily makes a keeper good because that keeper can have a really good defense as to where there's not a lot of
So
shots
what?
made, like he doesn't have to make a lot of saves. I'm just saying that's just another way to look at it
No,
because I
I
believe
didn't.
that the keepers. Go
I didn't.
ahead.
It doesn't probably make him good, but how does it make him not good? So what are we evaluating? If your game statistics, JD and J Taylor, is not can't be used because it's getting to a point where it maybe it's the cologne that you wear. If you're a striker, and we heard that if a striker from England went to Brazil and scored a hat trick, would we be saying that he's not good enough to get a look into the Jamaican national team or to be?
That's not, that's not where the problem is, Cataract. The problem is not that these guys are not good, bro. The problem is that these people don't feel it important to have the best players out there. That's the problem, Kadark. It's not that they're looking that these guys are not good. It's just the motivation is not there for them to have the best players playing for Jamaica at the youth level. I think that's just the simple. It's not about good. We know those kids are probably way better, are just as equally good. I'm telling you, there's gonna be maybe 4 or 5 kids in Jamaica who has the upside if you work with them long enough to get to those levels and probably can be better than some of the players in England. But that's why it's important for the team to be balanced, where you find the best talent in all the regions. So I don't think that's the goal. I don't think they look at it as saying him have 2 clean sheet in good art. It's not about that for them. I believe that there's an ego there, and there's some people who are stuck in their ways, and they believe that we have the talent in Jamaica to get it done because we have some of the best runners, some of the strongest people. Then we can go out days without eat food, and we can go and win. But that just doesn't work when you reach a Guatemala or Honduras because the other teams are not coming of Likabot with Talawa. They're actually coming with teams that has been training together for a year or two, and they have scanned their entire country and their diaspora for their best players, while we are going off the Holy Spirit, hoping that God help us to win. That does, God not sorry for people in a football, brother. It's either your team not good or you're not good. That's my problem with how they're looking at it.
All right. We're gonna finish it off in 15 minutes. We got two calls, JT. You want me chop up? Me just call them people right after. Because that's me tell you we join the program with
Yeah,
JT.
man. Yeah, man. Thanks for taking
All
my
right.
comment.
Yeah.
Listen in the comment
Yeah. So
section.
me just take the
Blessings.
call,
Thank
man.
you, guys.
Fast. Yeah, and then we shut
All
off
right.
in half. Guys, the like button we have what 160 here. Man, them just hit the like button and support the stream, the man, and the stuff and the foolishness, man. Everybody get a chance to talk. Yeah, but I said I didn't agree with Rudolph Speed. I don't believe that we have this immense talent because I think he thought he used the word wrong. But if you're gonna use the word in the terms of how Jamaica used it, yes, it would have been correct. So in a sense, you would say yes. What he said would have been okay. But if you move it back to the real world, no, because talent is a broader field than what we do possess when it comes on to football, you know. Good day, Carla. How are you doing?
I'm okay. Yeah,
What is it? What is it? Huh?
is JT here?
No, JT still is not there. We have to cut him off because that is a call for you to call, and then the next caller here. So we're gonna take the call right after. But finish your point, man. Do your thing, man. What are you doing?
Yeah, but what I'm saying, listening to Rudolph's era, he make a lot of sense when he say the coach only have the player for a long time and he can't develop no system. He got to see the player first, and after he see the player, he implement his system. So a lot of things that JT are saying, man, he's not factual. I think JT is a clean clothes madman based on something that I hear he saying last night.
When we go off what you hear already said today. So with the coach now, what you agree with the coach? Because the problem is, even other people inside Jamaica, that's coaches inside Jamaica, saying that they never got enough time to see the player to make the judgment, and but he wouldn't blame the coach only. He would have blamed the people that's put the handlers for the coach overall, because they never gave them the long stretch of time. So you should have started this longer. You get me? So
Right.
why you're so that JT is a madman and the coach is right? Because I'm still struggling to figure out what's up with the coach and what is he doing. I'm still trying to figure it out myself. So what say you?
All right. All right. This is why I say last night me hear JT a management attack. I hear JT say him have a higher IQ in a coaching than
Him
all
have
of
a
the
higher
coach in a
IQ or IQ in
yeah.
a coaching? Let me know, because you can have a higher
Higher,
IQ, but
higher.
it not help you in a coaching because you never study coaching.
Him say him have a higher IQ in a coaching.
Oh, in a
All
coaching.
right.
Okay, cool.
Me know you used to go stats and
Mm-hmm.
whatever else. Nobody don't know not about JT and no football. More than him look like JT look like a them kind of man they were no matter him was clean, he still look for dirt.
Jesus Christ. I know. I asked Mr. Dre. I asked the caller if he said IQ as a coach. That's all I'm asking. Nothing else.
Yeah, all
No,
right.
no, no, no. I Mr. J. I people in the comments. Like I try, But me hear yes, man. So he said, JT, clean him house and still look for dirt. Jesus.
Yeah, you know what them kind of people. And if you look dirt, you always go find dirt.
Oh, why JT? I don't know.
All right. All right. Me hear from good source that the team of Jamaica have 50% Jamaican born player and
Mhm.
50% player overseas. That look like a team we only try to play only Jamaican player to you. No.
But hold on the 50% Jamaican and the 50% overseas. Yeah, hold on that part. We will see it soon. I think on February 1st we're gonna get the list because I still believe that you have to have 28 players and they don't have half of that in overseas players. Because 28 players, you have to have 8 on the reserve list as well. You get me? So I don't know if they have 8 overseas players on the reserve list. We know it's going to be 20 players dropped down. So I don't know which one of them you're talking. You're talking about the final listing, or you're talking the overall listing with the reserves as well.
The listing with them have with the 28 players now.
Okay, and half of that are overseas players.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
If close to
Are
half.
close
So
to it. Are close. Let me give you at least close to it because I know it's close to it, but I know it's not actually half though. That's what I've heard. But I
right.
got what you're saying. I got what you're saying.
So when JT last night me hear JT said Hurricane is not a good striker. Tone, yo, listen, man. JT need. I don't know, brother. Something wrong with him, man. Come used to like respect and talk, but the man said something last night to management. JD is after you come off of the program. If they hear it, you would have feel sorry for him. The
Okay,
man say him
okay.
about the man say him about higher IQ than America. Jamaica got 2 World Cup.
Boy, I can't say he's lying. But the problem is, he has to prove it to the people. So I don't know where
So,
the metric is gonna come from, but he can actually prove it. That is my problem now. So JT will have
right.
to prove it, or else him credibility I go down the drain. So I do.
Yeah, but
Yes.
So, but JD, can we discuss the football thing? Who's the call on the line? Is it Mr. Dre?
The caller calling. I give him
No,
takes away.
no, I'm saying who is the caller? I didn't get the name of the caller.
what you say, Katara?
No, I didn't get the name of the caller.
Oh, Pepsi.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, but so you're all right with you're all right with the squad right now. Yeah, make it work as how it is, right?
Yeah,
But but
but brother, right? Because I'm
but
have a good.
caller, I wanted to ask you something. When we use the word overseas,
Huh?
when we use the word overseas, right?
Yeah.
Um, I don't really want. I don't want to stick at this word because I want to use professionally developed players because we have gone to America, but I am concerned where we have ignored players who are professional players. So it's not for me. It's not only about being born overseas. It's about players who are on contract, whether they be scholarship contracts, versus players who so I am looking to see who the professional players are. I have seen some names of some teams there. I have never heard of those teams before in the day that I born,
All right.
right?
But Katara,
But so I
um,
I don't I don't know. And remember that everything is behind closed doors, which is why I'm saying I just waited for the result. I don't know that I am putting my trust in a player developed at Fort Lauderdale FC, which is really a community team, as opposed to a player developed at Arsenal FC.
Ketchup, make him finish up because remember we'll
But,
take a
but
next.
go ahead. I just
all right, me hear what you're saying, but listen, right? Cataract, you have to work with what you have, right? The clinic that
no, brother. How can you work with what you have when you had the opportunity to get something different? Remember that Coach Marion Gordon went to Cameroon. he had to fly through England to get to Cameroon. Why didn't he spend 2 or 3 days there on the way back? No extra cost apart from hotel and ground transportation. And look at some under 17 players.
All right, you asked me a question and you answered.
Yeah, that me when the
Them
Cataract.
asking- Okay, go ahead.
Boy, I mean, I know. Oh, Cataract after this be select time can't be no calling. No look a calling
Right.
job Cataract. Them are fired the first day. Cause you got answer the caller when the caller know him a report pan, but you know him a report pan. Finish caller. Big up yourself. Thanks for being here.
All right. As the management said last night, the clip that was put on in Florida, right? Was put out. Him put it on, right? So him get some player where him look at, right? And him pick the best out of where him see. And him bring them on trial and him select. Brother, listen me, right? Football is similar. Me just use like an example with Umar, right?
Don't go down the same path as JT Lino. All right, just to make sure.
No, not even close. All right. You ever see a man would ever see with that girl yet and see with another ugly girl and say, what make him not choose that pretty girl there? But there's something about that pretty girl there where them don't know where you know because you're close to the pretty girl. And the similar thing with football. Everything look good from the outside, but the coach from the inside, him they closer to the player them. I think most time the coach knows best. Not every time, most time. So we have to give the coach the preference at the doubt until improve it wrong.
And what if improve you're wrong? Or what should be the ramifications right after? Because that is something we're not doing in Jamaican culture much. The accountability part.
It end up like Lampard.
Okay, all right. That's what I want people to say, because now he's on the program of the entire coaching staff. So if he feels it's like he's gonna have to stay there because he was a forcible signee on the actual full staff. So we have to ask those natural questions I want the fans to answer. We want TikTok and them to honestly answer, because that simply means if you're the immediate the forceful signee, once you feel you're gonna just go back to the main camp and go back to learn from the coach. But what at the help? That like you're forced someone to stay on a team that maybe not deserve to be on. Not saying he doesn't, because I respect him highly. But I'm just asking, why are we setting up metrics like this? That's all I'm saying. Worst off, we know we saw the selection never went well, and people have complained, So what are the ramifications? It's like you're gonna do what you're doing, and if you feel, you just feel. That's the next step in the background, and you go up to the national team and be the reserve and learn again and come back down again. We want to get some clear answers. But a good point, Big Boss.
All right, let me just say one more thing before we go. JD, right? I respect you how you talk about football, and sometimes, all right, JD, I'm gonna tell you sometime. You say if you tell a man say his wife a cheat on him, you have to tell him it in a one way or where like you that say, boy, brother, I don't love how your lady are moving on, but look into yourself. But sometimes, JD, you're too real.
Yeah, man, me figure it out, man. Me figure it out. Me try adapt for change, and I true sometimes me there out of the country too long, so me don't really know if to talk to them. And me there in a society where people just say what they say.
So you have to say things like a good baller, man, but we already do.
Oh Lord.
Look on him left and see where he can do with the left foot. You know what I mean?
Yes. Me understand, man. Me try improve, man. Me try improve. But me not the best. Me not the finished article at all. Me try improve, man.
Me know that. But keep on doing your good work, man. But we could just work with what we have, and then after that we criticize the earth. So that's all me say.
All right, respect, yeah.
Man, stay strong.
All right. Let me take the next call.
Best of caller. So JD, we have the new strategic, the new way for Jamaica to move forward in football and in a World Cup. It's called work with where you have. That is the new strategy. Work with where you have.
Jesus. 1 second, let me take the call. If I miss the call here, I'm just take the next one, and then we out of here. We not stay too long. You get me? All right. So we missed the call. So caller, we miss the call.
Work with where you have, JD. Work with which caller you have.
All right, I work with Connecticut, which is the next caller. Yeah, but my origin. Big up.
Hello?
How you doing, Bossy? How you doing?
Good.
I was not out here. I was Carla, 1 second. I was not out here telling no man that him woman a skettle. That is a lie. Lee Young, a liar tells me. All right? Jesus God. What's it? Oh, Carla, continue. But this one leave.
That kill me.
not gonna keep it long, but basically this is what I have to say, right? Yeah, hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, man, we are here,
So
man.
this
The
whole
man mash up my
this
lifestyle.
this idea, yeah, this idea of working with what we have is, in my opinion, is BS. These people who put camps together, this was just a sham to put a camp together and pick who they want. They willfully ignore players that are proven statistically to perform better as a core group. And it's basically another step to say, okay, since as you guys put in pressure on us to pick better players, deep down we don't really want the better players. We are just put a sham camp together and just pick who we want. So this is where this mindset's coming from, talking about we work with what we have. No, I'm not working with what we have. We know we have better. You hear me?
Yeah, we hear you, man. Me hear you, man. Yeah, I have some valid point, bossy. Respect. It's just tough. I kind of get the same feeling last night. In terms of how we go about things. It's like me just want it to be a little bit more transparent and organized. And I know it's not down to the coach only to get it like that. It's an overall facility situation. So the JFF themselves have to start outline things from longer. So they said they're gonna do it now. So I said, all right then, you know what? Me never catch on with every single levels of how they were selecting. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to literally check from the next time, because they said they're gonna start 2 years in advance in the next under 17s. So now I'm gonna start track that under 17 from now when they start, to see how the balance goes. Yeah.
But they're gonna do the same thing, right? They
Yeah.
only do what benefits them.
Well,
They're
once
gonna
they
go
do,
again. They're
no.
gonna go.
If
Yeah,
they
they're
do
gonna
that
go
now,
around
we're gonna
everybody.
call him out. We're gonna call him out. You can't, Mr. Drake can't come here with no foolishness when that happen the next time. Him can't talk now, because clearly him have little basis to talk on. But once we chat the next one and we see foolishness, and we just see a fair it's fair way how people can actually come and showcase their skills, then me I gonna have a problem. 100% me I gonna call out people, just like how everybody I do it. But no, me just reserve myself, because through my kind of say, okay, it's not just one person the problem, and it's the JFF just the same, and JFF was always the bad entity in this conversation. So because they're still brushing off those wounds and stuff, I'm just giving them time, because they claim that they wanted time. So let's see. But that's what I am doing. But if you don't want to do it, me not no problem. You can continue beating them. You get me?
Yeah, it's not even about that, JD. I already know. I've been on the phones with people, and certain conversation come up. It's like, even if you try to help them, they'll say no, and they'll go and do their own thing just to get their own way. This is not about moving forward together. This is about moving forward in whatever ways it can benefit them. That's what the situation is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Me get the man. Facts. All right. So we'll chop it up tomorrow, no? And you can just ask the link if you want to come on, if whatever show it is. All right.
Yeah, man.
All
Yeah,
right. So
man.
you
Come
link
on.
up. All right then. Big boss. Respect. All right, so let me just go through the comments and then we shut off. The callers, them when I call it 4 times, I know I answer. Me not have time to call people phone. I even look at my phone and people. All right, big up in yourself, best as documentary. Jesus, God, Sally's a call in and me tell him I'm more done.
Yeah.
But call you,
All
Sally's have
right.
a call back in for what?
No. I know you're ending the show, JD, but
It's an hour
I
on the
was,
clock.
I, I was, I was dubbed as the Clean Clothes Madman, so I guess they have given me Teddy Lee's
No, you have to quote the man correctly. The man said you are a madman in clean clothes.
Okay, Jesus Christ, Cataract. So listen to this, JD. And Cataract. The question that I was asked was, do you think you have a higher football IQ? So you see, the number one, the caller, he just rephrased everything incorrectly, because you have to look at it in a vacuum. Football IQ is different from a jet person's general IQ, right? Can we
Mm-hmm.
agree on that?
Yes,
A
yes,
per-
yes, yes, yes.
Yes, because there's a lot of people on this stream or in the chat would have a higher IQ than me, and it goes right around. There's different people in the group with different education levels. No, my explanation to Manningsman was that because of some of these coaches, their biases won't allow them to reach their full potential and how they approach things. So you're automatically already limited of how you're gonna see things. So he asked me if I think my football IQ is higher than a lot of these coaches, and I said yes. And what these call the caller don't understand is that's my personal opinion. A person's personal opinion isn't gospel. That's your fundamental human right. You're entitled to your opinion. So I think a lot of times when people hear me say things, they don't actually put it under the microscope and look at it in context, whether or not this is his opinion or this is something that can be debated as factual. So sometimes they're debating my opinion as something factual. So I'm always going to walk away feeling more powerful because I realize they still miss the beat, even in the midst of their anger. They're not able to understand what we are actually discussing because they're blinded by their anger towards what I'm saying. So it goes back, he validates what I said with Marian Garden. He said, make we just work with what we have. That's what Marian Garden is also saying in the press conference. I'm going to look at the players and work with what we have and build a system around that. So basically, he doesn't have a plan. So automatically, I see that me and this caller, we are on the opposite sides of the spectrum. As I said, I'm from the future. I'm just visiting the past right now and trying to explain to these guys
Oh
where we
Lord.
should be going with these things. So thank you for taking my call again,
All
JD.
right, big up,
Bless up on yourself.
bossy. Yeah. All right, so we have a super chat here. Massive respect for the football global. Massive respect. Thanks for supporting the channel. Everybody that hit the like button. Not only super chat appreciated. Like button, share, watching the damn video helps. Thanks very much. Yes, they said Manningsman was boasting about the tournament and the FL team had on um add on two different people. Me tell me something more done. Me tell them more done, you know. But the man him have the respect for my thing, man. Jesus God, man. Good day, Ian, man. And look at
But
Hardy in a car.
why didn't you finish reading the why didn't you finish reading the super chat?
The caller come in. The caller come in. Me can't do nothing. Me can't close down everything. I do the thing one time.
No,
Like when
somebody can you finish reading the super chat, please?
but remember take Ian plan. Ian, good day, Ian. How are you doing, because Ian
Up,
a
man.
call and the next man a call. I mean, me literally man. Listen, me hear me say more and shut off, you know, and him just say, him nah make me sleep. Them nah make me sleep. But them nah make me sleep. But it's all right. Let me take Ian call. So Ian, big up yourself, and then we'll go back to the super chat.
Man, bless up, man. Listen, on the topic of this under 17 team, my issue is that let's support a team irrespective of our opinions, yeah. Because end of the day, we're one Jamaica, and we want them to win, irrespective of who they select. So if they pick players from Prime FC,
Mm-hmm.
Basketball FC, Clarendon entire team, so be it. Yeah. Point is that we're one Jamaica, and we hope and pray that they can qualify for the under 17 World Cup.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
So, that's essentially my point. Because listen, what's happening is
Caller, Ian, who was not supporting the team?
no. I know you are supporting the police network. I know you are.
No. I'm asking in here the 100 and something persons. Because I listened to your point, I'm asking who in here on the panel, the callers, the commenters, who is not supporting on the 17 team?
No, what I'm saying is that I am just putting it out there, yeah, generally, that we should rally behind a team. I'm not singling out any particular individual, Cataract.
Okay.
So I'm not targeting anyone. Yeah.
And just what I asked when you say rally around the team, Ian. Will you be? No, I just want to confirm. When you say rally around the team and support the team, because it doesn't matter where they come from, Boscobel, Garvey Maceo, etc., etc. Can we look forward to getting some live reports from you from Guatemala? Will you be there in attendance, supporting the team?
Brother, I have no idea, because listen, a couple days ago I was hopping mad when I heard that Grant and Hurd were cut. I was hopping mad when I heard they were cut, because based on football logic, they're probably the two best players in the team. That's just my opinion. But guess what? They were cut.
Yeah.
And for probably a couple of days, you're upset. But guess what? Just so you know what, end the idea, Mr. Gordon is the coach, and we have to respect his decisions. Yeah.
Yes, man. Yes.
And move forward. Yeah. So.
No, but what I'm asking you is that you're the support, because you see, everybody says. No, I'm just finding out what support means.
I can't hear what you're saying. I can't hear you.
Yeah, finish up your point.
No, I'm asking if what does support mean? Does support mean that you will be at the smaller, spending your hard-earned money, which I know you work hard from 8:30 to Monday to Friday, or does it mean that?
Yeah, and finish up your point. Finish up your point. Yeah, finish up your point, big boss. No, don't follow Cataract. Cataract will continue the show.
I'm as rich as Cataract.
Yeah, finish your
point. Who can travel to wherever he wants to. He wants to when he wants to.
Yeah, no, man, I'm asking what the support is. Are we going to be watching? Is it going to be televised?
Where I want.
Okay. So, yeah, because we have to finish up, because I have a set time when I have to done. Yes, so finish up. Yes,
all right, so I'm done. I'm done then. Bless up people. Good night.
All right, respect. Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, cool.
Yeah, man. Because when you follow that, brother, yeah. All right. So, Football Global, thanks to the super chat, massive respect. Because I have a sense of the brother, yeah, because football foolish is going with, All right. Yes, massive respect. Omza said you were on the Ryan stream 4 a.m. yesterday. Yesterday, I specifically told you guys that I was not going to do any other work or nothing. I would be free, and I was waiting up to watch my literal basketball game, Lakers versus Clippers. I told you that on my own stream. So don't lie on me, bro, because I don't waste time and I don't tell lies. All right. Yes, I don't have no need to tell any lie. Yeah. All right. So, anyways, let me just finish up. The first super chat, let me read it. He said, Manning's man was boasting about tournament, and the FL team had on 2 different jerseys and 2 number 10 jerseys, and the field. Oh God. Yeah, the man and war about everything, Then one put 5 pounds.
Isn't what the caller is saying. He's calling into question whether a professional team would not have a kit or not have numbers. Am I understanding that?
I never stayed to watch the Lakers lose. If you look at my post, I support Kawhi Leonard. So I never wanted Lakers to win. I wanted Clippers to win. What is wrong with you? You don't listen, Yeah, anyways, let me finish. What you said, Cataract.
I'm asking if the point of the caller, the super chat, put his money up there, is the point that he's making that a professional academy was there playing in 2 different, not having a kit, and that there were 2 number 10s on the field. That
professional academy was there, Cataract. Weren't it just not Jamaican players that they tried to patch up together to see the talent in there? That was not the academy.
No, man, he's talking about the recent games there.
He was talking about the showing, like the trials. That's what he was talking. And let me know football. If you're talking
about I just want to be clear. I don't want to.
Yeah, but you can't do a different tangent. You're just a war.
I'm asking a question. What? I've opened my mouth. Just say war. You know I'm a war. I just you know me say you link for my song class. You know I'm a war. Me start telling me about them mother and all them today. I am just trying to understand. so that because if he talking about the schoolboy football thing that just went there with Inter Miami FC, I don't know what. But as I said, I am supporting the under 17 team. I am wishing Coach Marion Gordon the best. I am expecting Jamaica to win the tournament based on how selection has gone, because we clearly have the top talents now in the team, because we didn't need to go to our diaspora in England for professional players, and we had some players who expressed an interest for whom no letter requesting them to be released from their club has been forthcoming, right? And so whatever 20 the coach picks, I'm supporting.
Okay.
Got nothing to say until the results. Nothing, because I don't know the team. I'm not able to go and watch them. Don't know the thing.
Respect.
Right, but
Brad,
I just hope you would give me a second to clarify this statement about Troy Deeney, because I take my reputation very seriously. Troy Deeney began the application process for a Jamaican citizenship while he was a player at Watford in the Premier League. The process became complicated and dragged out. Right? It dragged out because Troy Deeney's father is Jamaican. So you're never looking for the grandmother certificate or nothing. And the player became frustrated and just decided to say, never want to play for Jamaica no more. So TikTok is incorrect in suggesting that Troy Deeney was never interested. That is not the truth. As a matter of fact, JD, I'm going to go one step further. Troy Deeney has an estranged relationship with his father, right? Who is allegedly a known gangster in Birmingham, who in an article he pointed out that his father came to pick him up from academy training, his first academy match, what you call the match where you play? And when he opened the trunk to put his football bag in the trunk, is a man tie up in the trunk. I'm father, yeah. I saw the badness come down. So he has all reason not to want to play for Jamaica. And if not want to play for Jamaica, he will never play for Jamaica. He is not unquestioned. But we give you the facts, brother, because that's what we base our credibility upon.
all right.
If we make a mistake, we make a mistake. Bless
Yeah,
up.
but
Thank you for the opportunity.
respect. So let me just take Brian Mighty. Brian Mighty, good day, big boss. Is it working now? Please. Hope I can hear Brian Mighty now.
Are you hearing me now?
Yeah, man, we are here now. Yes.
Perfect.
Can't get this.
You
Can't
hear
get
me?
Perfect.
Catcher. When me hear you already, Catcher. Brian, no,
I'm hearing him. I'm letting him know I'm hearing him.
Jesus.
Yeah, man, respect. So I was following the conversation on and off.
Mm-hmm.
You see, as it relates to the I mean supporting the team and stuff. I mean, you have players, I've been to Jamaica where I see clubs training, and there are persons there watching the training sessions, like literally go, sit in, have them food, have them drinks, and watch them Premier League team at train.
Yeah.
And when the players them do bad, them let them know.
Yeah.
And them really make them know so them do bad. And when them do good, them same one go out and celebrate them. So I think, and I mean, this understand the federation's perspective are in saying that, sometimes you will have closed sessions where you don't want nobody to come and videotape and whatever and thing. But I mean, me not think the solution to that is to lock out the people them and the fans are, if you try to create a barrier between the fans and the players, because I see them fans and them come and beg money, I beg to contribute to the program and to buy a jersey and buy a ticket and for sell Jamaica and for talk good things and whatever. So I have to try to find a way to strike the balance. Like I said before, with this whole under 17 thing, I'm cautiously optimistic. But based on how I see our organization go and thing, the deck done stuck against you already, brother. It's so that way, but the truth. the deck don't stack against it. So if we come out on the better end of it, kudos. If not, it's not something strange.
Yeah, we'll just go back to the drawing board. Me respect what you talk, man. Just straight up, man. Straight up. I agree with everything there. And one thing I have to say to the fans, them, like TikTok time. Don't tell anybody to them can't talk. Because I realize they like censorship. You're like a 70-year-old Jamaican. You get me? Them time they pass and done. People should have the free will to criticize anything that they saw. Because it's just how the world is. Remember yesterday when I said to you, 15 and 17-year-olds are like professional in European countries and everyone clueless. You know why? Because they don't know nothing else aside from what them come up in them culture and they know nothing else. We have to outgrow them thing there. If we want to compete with the world, we have to compete with the world. So you see the mental side that I talked about, our own culture will be back as well. Our own culture behaviors all the back. That's how we don't excel from the 17 to 20. All right. So make sure we remember that. Remember me say that. So when you hear Mr. Speed and them guys, they say it. When they don't go give Mr. Speed credit and they give me. Our own culture have a lot to do with how we excel with football. Our own culture, because the thing we still hold on to. You understand? Because if you're going to tell a man, say, him can't criticize and him can't say this, how can people get hardened if them can't hear the truth? You have to come tell him, I call just them and say, me too harsh. But for find the next way to say it nice to the people, them, so if still catch on a good on it. You understand me? So maybe even today, Rodolph Austin, him want to say it as straightforward, you know, but because our culture, our pure pressure, belief, or bully people, him have to say, Jamaica have the sensational talents, them. But we're true indiscipline. Maybe him just wants to say we're indisciplined and we need to work hard and all more things. But because we force people in our culture to be fake. Because them can't even be them real self, or else when they not go support them. That are from the 90s. So let we change it for the 2022, man. I mean, I tell us so we can reach further if we just change it and just go by the truth. The truth is what you have to live by and done, man. We need them thing, and we need you them to be stronger. So when them go to door and I'm on a bully and Bailey on Aston Villa feel. Him not go on. Him not if him can't lead down somebody, him not go feel the opposite way because he might learn what the real world learn. You understand me, Brian? He might learn, so he equipped for the real world.
Yeah, man. You're correct, man. I mean, and in this 21st century, we always talk about freedom of speech and whatever, but
and we
I mean,
can't
people,
talk.
yeah, people. I mean, as long as, well, in most cases, as long as they are being respectful and them now, you're not go down disrespect road. I think people should be allowed to say what they want to say. But at the same time, even if them decide to go down that road, I mean, sometimes you have to just make people say what they must say, brother, and
Yeah,
you
man.
just you move on.
Yeah, but Brian, what me I say, it make we in a better persons. Cause remember, most of the conflicts them were leading to death in Jamaica. It is just because a man just cannot take the criticism of an next man. I say so. I'm not gonna say when me like what me know. Me I talk about when media Jamaica. That may lead to a whole heap of my friend them dead because a man just cannot accept what next man I say. I cannot come to an understanding and say make a reason it out or something. You get me? So if we do it to him from earlier by telling him the truth. You know, think he would have get hard now, he would have be a different human being and much more prepared for the problems lies ahead. So if we spoon feed our kids them, our footballers to 18-year-old, how are they gonna survive after 18 years old when they are saying that is 15 to 17 is the main problem? You get me?
Yeah, man, you're correct, man. 100% correct, brother. 100% correct.
We need to put it to Mr. Speed and them guys, let them start put it in them meeting because when them talk now, things can get better. So my thing say, I'm asking for the show in Brian, Mr. Speed, how are we gonna improve the social side? Like at the youth them. My thing say, cause you know he might do the studies and know what it takes. You get me? So may I ask him, how can we improve the social side? Cause my thing say, if you improve that, Brian, that alone are gonna change their mind towards how them develops, because them are gonna start develop themselves. Them are gonna start develop themselves. And I think say a
Yeah,
lot of youths have not reach where they want to reach because them themselves now start the extra work. You understand me?
yeah, man. But you see, once you develop as a complete human being, you become a better footballer.
So now that me
It
I say
just
something,
natural. It just
so we are trying to
natural.
force them to start help themselves. You get me? So me I
Yeah.
try to tell them say, you start help your damn self. I look at the youth who come from Cavaliers. What him say when the coach him? Him come out and say him never learn them thing and none at all. You get me?
Yeah,
So
and him say him will get
and
better.
him willing for work and work harder. So that means him, you're gonna only see that you there. That's why me want to hear more about him. Because me already see say him have a good mentality. Come and say, yo, first me get them training, me want come back. Me like that, you know?
Yeah, but you know, I don't think that kid played schoolboy football. He did track soccer bar.
Okay, well, me like his attitude, man, because I see him in the games, them. I see him in the games, them, and I see say him that do something on the field. That's why I was so upset because I want to hear what Mr. Algrimson rated how him perform and what him can work on. Because I see him miss a big chance, but him create the big chance by himself. So I want to see how him da evaluate that guy there and see what him da want to do. What we da need for him to go forward. But me never get no question, the answer. Me never get nothing on him, you know. But the next time, hopefully we can get to talk to him and ask him when we see it, close up to the time. Yeah, but yeah, man. But we're gonna shut it off here. If we have stories tomorrow, guys, we will chip him back. Thanks yet again, Brian, for passing through. Mr. Oligarch, we always are. But you still pass through and give it a strength. So thanks very much. And thanks everyone that actually came in and subscribe, like, share, donated, every single thing. Massive, massive respect, man. All right. TikTok still a war in the chat. Even at the end of the chat, I don't know how the man finds so much strength, right, Brian? But every time I
Yo,
start the show,
TikTok, they're the wrong place, man. If I go down to Iraq. If I go down to one place, I go fight war, Bridget.
About fake support. And them man we are talking the loudest. But bet you know see when the under 17 they are Guatemala, I see you go to Guatemala go wave no flag. A free paper on our bun. Big up all ultras. Fire bud a wagonist. Big up Brian Mighty. Yes,
all
sir.
right.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
guys,
bless up,
peace
brother.
out,
Heart of
guys.
love.
And peace out and stay safe, guys. It's always a night. Tomorrow we'll chop it up maybe earlier. Peace out.